Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me care. I gotta sleep with one eye open. Trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach. Paranoid, yeah. I won't let them care. They won't see me care. I gotta sleep with one eye open. Trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach. Paranoid, yeah. I can't let them care. They won't see me care. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with Perky, now that hair on them is veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach. Paranoid, yeah. I won't let them care. They won't see me care. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach. Paranoid, yeah. I can't let them care. They won't see me care.
Lost, see, I glossed to, we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
Niggas died at 65.
Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
Blazing on the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, highway ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hollering black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this my definition. And being savage was our nation, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. So dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God and Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to somethings. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God is never our vernacular. They get
meditation, the Helly way. You know, I had to really step back and look at my situation for what it was. You know, I had to look at my life like it was a movie. I had to look at all the moving parts. It's the only way I can really understand what it was. You know, they say love make you blind. Yeah, I'm introverted. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bed, I got a murder. Echoes on the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burdens, the streets wanna murder. Streets wanna murder. I told you that this thing of ours, it come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. Paint the city red. All the shit I seen replaying in my head. Heard the streets talking, so we called them boys instead. Black wanna murder and they caught wind of the feds. And I pray they would, but it was right, but really, niggas was crooked. Playing the 50 with niggas that cost them a bullet. Ain't wanna do it to them, but I had to pull it. One foot in the streets, one foot in the trap, my hand on the music. I write my wrongs on this microphone, it's therapeutic. I know the streets listen when I talk, I can't abuse it. I can't abuse it. I can't abuse it. Oh no, I can't abuse it. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bed, I got a murder. Echoes on the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burden. I'm introverted. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bed, I got a murder. Echoes on the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burdens. The streets wanna murder. Streets wanna murder. I told you that this thing of ours, it come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. If yeah, baby, you know why I get it. Stuck in the grind, bitch, I'm on a mission. Over they talking, little baby, I'm different. And on my nuts, I handle my business. And on my phone, shit independent. I'm really rapping the shit that I'm living. I got a problem inside of my mind. I hear the streets talking, they tell me to get it. Yeah, I gotta get it. Yeah, then she tell me I'm tripping. All of my money on top of my music to give myself what I was missing. Yeah, I never asked them niggas for a band. I never caught them niggas in the jam. I know the ops stepping in the moon. I know my head going for a 10. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bed, I got a murder. Echoes on the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burdens.
Hey. I was rolling down the Chattanooga mountain. Hey. I was on a bad street, rolling down the Chattanooga mountains, rolling up the Indo, it came from Sacramento. Backpack full of those Ziploc ounces, rolling up the Indo, it came from Sacramento. I was on the back street, rolling down the Chattanooga mountain, rolling up the Indo, it came from Sacramento. Backpack full of those Ziploc ounces, rolling up the Indo, it came from Sacramento. You can catch me downtown with a drink in my hand. And if I don't leave with a bad bitch, then I'll be down. She gon' watch me like the TV, I'm the cable man. She went skiing down the slope, she only needed a gram. I was on a bad street, rolling down the Chattanooga mountains, rolling up the Indo, it came from Sacramento. Backpack full of those Ziploc ounces, rolling up the Indo, it came from Sacramento. I was on the back street, rolling down the Chattanooga mountain, rolling up the Indo, it came from Sacramento. Backpack full of those Ziploc ounces.
Hey, how y'all like that new little prelude right there? That's my man Lucky Two Sticks. He just sent that in. Shout out to Lucky Two Sticks, man, for the music. We're gonna play a little bit more of his shit real quick.
It's been It's been 3 years hanging over my head. I've been wanting to butt try. Been at this shit for way too long. I can't give up right now. 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 I've been in the trench trying to get this money. I don't know what the fuck you want. So I will say lifestyle. Every nigga around me a real threat. It ain't too much I ain't seen to this day. Still ain't hurt my bet. I'm tapping in with the killers and the dealers to show 'em where I'm at. I elevated my status and now she starstruck. I took my passion for progress up to another level. Came back to the city with the bag, time to run it up. He sold the PFP, I cut the flow. That boy ain't one of us. January last year, I bought some polygon.
Shout out to Lucky Two Sticks, man. That's your boy Lucky Two Sticks, man. We're gonna continue with the Wake and Bake channel, man. Let's continue, man. Let's start the live stream officially.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me, I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them, They won't see me, I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them, They won't see me, I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair right up his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them, They won't see me, I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them, They won't see me,
Lost, see, I glossed too, we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the
Man, what's up with it, man? Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the motherfucking building, man. What's going on with it? How y'all feeling this grand rising? Y'all ready to get into the live stream, man? Make sure y'all go shop with 2 a.m., man. We are 2am.com. Make sure y'all go shop. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all go do that. Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, man. How y'all feeling this grand rising? We're going to get right into it. You know what I mean? We're going to get right into it. How y'all feeling out there? Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to shout out everybody that's tuning in that's not able to comment, that's on their daily commute, that can't comment in the chat. I also want to take the time out to shout out everybody in the chat. Let me shout out everybody in the chat. Shout out to Empress Goddess Namas. Shout out to Georgia Peach. Shout out to Wax On Never Off. More Truth, More Lies. Jan Ronner. Shout out to Shining Light. Shout out to Lucky Two Sticks. Shout out to Shamel Thompson. Shout out to El Bora. Shout out to Chick Harmony Roots. Shout out to Boney J. Shout out to Enox. Shout out to V Cooper 52. V Cooper 52. Shout out to you, brother. Haru the Duke of Great Lakes. Shout out to the Haru Duke of Great Lakes. Shout out to Smoke Central, Leonidas. Pop Reed. Everybody show some love to Pop Reed in the chat. That's the elder in the chat. Make sure y'all show some motherfucking love. Make sure y'all show some motherfucking love. We got Tribe Ties in the building. He said, what know about DC? Man, I know about DC, Slim. What, you don't think I know, Slim? You don't think I know, Slim? Don't do me like that. Shout out to Jaguar Clout. Shout out to the realest N-word alive. Mega Traveling Man, Darius Matthews, Taron Aries, Carla Wilson. Shout out to all you guys in here, man. Turn up. Drop them fire emojis if y'all can hear me loud and clear. Man, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all know the fucking vibes, man. Know the vibes. Shout out to Son of California. Son of California. Hey, man, light your woods up, man. It's that time, man. Hold on. It's the Wake and Bake Show, man. What y'all smoking on and where y'all at the Grand Rising? I'll fuck around, need to roll another one. I should have rolled 2 of them bitches. No, we gonna get it cracking this Grand Rising. No, we about to get it cracking this Grand Rising. Shout out to Elizabeth Young in the chat as well. I didn't mean to skip over my sister. Shout out to Elizabeth Young. Hey man, what y'all doing out there, man? I never come on camera, but I got the green screen set up. Y'all know what's cracking, man. We trying to get it righteous. Hey, if y'all ain't shot with 2 a.m., man, make sure y'all go shot with 2 a.m. You heard? I don't even know where my bottoms at. Can't even find them bitches. Shout out to everybody. They on the purple runts. They on the run skis. They on the run ski. Culture vultures. You need a DVD digital black dollar shirt on. That's what I'm saying. I've been trying to get the black. You feel me? You know what I mean? Elizabeth, where A.B. at, man? Cali at work, LAX airport. Hey, be safe out there, Queen Moo. You know what I'm saying? If you see any celebrities, make sure you tell all of them. Everybody that walk through that airport, Queen Moo, let them know that they Aborigine. Spark that conversation with them. You know what I'm saying? You never know who you might be talking to. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Hey, man, what's the vibes, man? What y'all got going? It's good to see y'all in the chat, man. I got a fire-ass live stream lined up for you guys. No bullshit. A fire-ass live. This bitch about to get cracking on my mama. Yeah, that's Pop Reed right there. Somebody said, oh, snap, look at Bell. Y'all funny as hell. I mean, I see everybody else coming on camera slightly, so might as well. It's been a while. You see what I'm saying? If we're gonna start the podcast, we gotta get on there, man. Y'all already know the vibes, man. Like, niggas be played, like, it ain't about my face, man. It's about the information that I bring, man. It ain't about the drip that I put on, man. It's about what I bring to the table, man. You heard? When it comes to this Aboriginal information. Hold on, let me turn my screen off for a second. I need to roll me up another wood. I need to roll me up another wood before we even get into this, before we even get into the conversation, before we even get into the audio. Y'all see the title, Poking Holes at Our History, right? We're going to be dealing with D.C., Maryland, Virginia, better known as the DMV area. We're going to be talking about underground cities in those particular regions. We're gonna talk about a few things, man. We gonna try to this 2022, man. We covering everywhere in America with it, man. Right now we in the DMV with it. Let me roll me up another wood. Y'all niggas, yeah, I'm slacking on my Mac in this goddamn morning. You understand me? Let me roll up this goddamn wood there. Y'all fuck with me, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. Y'all know it's big Al. Hey, can anybody in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, the DMV area? I just want the DMV to drop a fire emoji in the chat. I need to know who all in the DMV. I got something nice for you niggas. Might give y'all something to do this goddamn summer. You understand me? I got something nice for you niggas. You understand? Hold on. Let me roll this some bitch up. Waking and baking, here we here, bro. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Roll up that Zaki, roll up your little mid-teas, hit your little bone, roll your joint, light your wood, and get comfortable. Goddamn, we about to get into some information. Ain't no better way to get into some information. Is high and ready for the supply. Goddamn. Sit, relax, ready to get that thrax. You understand me? Waking, baking while getting the education. Goddamn. You understand what I'm saying? We waking and baking while getting the education. I mean, that's if all you got is mid, then go and get you some mid. Somebody said they got Delta 8 better than that. Nigga, that's what mid. That's mid. Delta 8 is pretty much mid. Man, that's some bullshit. Delta 8 is what motherfucker granddaddies now. Somebody granddaddy smoking Delta 8. Boy, pass me that Delta out that counter now. You know how them old heads be. Especially them down south ones. The wood almost raw. I had to break the weed down, y'all. Just bear with me, man. We running a little sloppy this grand rising, but hey, we here. This is my 28th day, or is this the 29th? I think this number 28. This is my 28th day in a row, and I gave y'all 30 live streams in 28 days. I done gave y'all 30 live streams in 28 days. Can I get some support? Can I get some support in the channel? Can I get some people to support the channel? Before we even get started, can we get some people to support the channel? I'm rolling my wood right now as we speak. Just bear with me. Somebody did send in a donation before I even started early. Let me shout them out first and you know what I mean? First and foremost, goddamn. Shout out to Craig. Shout out to my nigga Craig. Shout out to my nigga Craig. Craig did that. Shout out to the cash out donation supporting the $2 challenge, man. We appreciate all of the motherfucking support. We appreciate all the motherfucking support. You understand me? Hot. Ooh, that motherfucking coffee hot than a bitch. And I should have got my other motherfucking. Matter of fact, I'll be back. Give me 2 seconds, man. Give me 2 seconds. We'll be right back, man. Let's take a 60-second break. We'll be right back.
Niggas died at 65.
Yeah. Hey, man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
On the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled high, I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hot and black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. If being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. We the gods of the gate. So when they say they fear God, now you know what they made.
All right, we back, goddamn. We back. Like I said, if y'all want to get some of this big Aboriginal power gear, some of this 2 a.m. shit that you see on the screen, go to weare2am.com. Weare2am.com. Go get you some cheap holiday merch. You understand? That shit fire. You understand? But yeah, back to it though. We about to get into the live. Y'all see my cup? I can't even see this bitch. But that bitch got a map of America on that bitch. Y'all know how I'm doing it. Y'all see what I'm doing with the cuppy. You feel me? On some Aboriginal shit. Yeah. So straight up, man. Let's get right into the fire ass information, man. We got lined up, man. Hopefully everything's shining good. Ain't nothing like some good runts, man. You ain't lying. Ain't nothing like some good runs, man. Or some good gushers. You know what I'm saying? Some good cherry gelato, black cherry gelato, something. You feel me? Who else we got up in here? Shy Alpha, what's up? Sister Shout out to Sister Soul Main Radio. I haven't seen you in a while, sister. Good to see you in here. Glad all is well. Boss player, what up, though? Boss player, what's the move, gangster? Peanut butter breath, mangooza. Like I said, I ain't missed nobody else off in here, have I? Don't support the channel though. Shout out to Enoch. Shout out to Chief Courtney Michelle. What's going on, sis? So as y'all see, man, shout out to everybody in the DMV area. I'm not even gonna hold y'all up any longer. Hold on, maybe I am. Hold on. I just started watching some bullshit. Fuck.
This is a real B&H customer story.
Give me a second, man. I'm trying to get it together.
Friends.
Yeah. I'm trying to get it together. But I got a nice little bill lined up for the people in the DMV area, man. And just across America in general, we're gonna start talking about the world's fires, the Great Fire, the secret fires of North America. You feel me? And that cover up. We're gonna talk about the buried city that they just totally built on top of. You know what I mean? Obvious evidence of a mud flood. We're gonna look at all that, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even tripping. All right, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. And should I keep that bitch like this? I should keep it like this. Yeah, I'll keep it like this for a second. All right, let's get it, man. Let's get right into it.
New historical timeline grafted onto the existing physical infrastructure was officially kicked off by the Exposition in London's Crystal Palace in 1851. After taking approximately 110 years to dig enough infrastructure out of a global mud flood to restart civilization, the Royal Observatory at Greenwich in London became the world's prime meridian in iron shutters, which was the same year as the Hamburg Fire. We are told the 1845 Great Fire of New York destroyed 345 buildings in the southern part of the financial district. This fire was said to confirm the effectiveness of restricting the building of wood frame structures, as areas which were rebuilt after the 1835 Great Fire of New York were of stone, masonry, iron roofs, and iron shutters. The 1845 fire was said to have destroyed buildings from below Wall Street on Broad Street to Stone Street, up Whitehall Street to Bowling Green, and up Broadway to Exchange Place. These places pictured in New York City have incredibly large buildings of heavy masonry or bricks. When were these built? The Great Pittsburgh Fire was said to have happened in the same year, on April 11th of 1845. The Great Pittsburgh Fire was said to have been started by a woman who worked for Colonel Deal on Ferry Street, who had just stoked a fire to heat wash water. This is a detail from a Nathaniel Currier print. This is a good place to insert that famous artists and authors were part of creating the new historical narrative that was being imprinted in our consciousness. consciousness and taking our attention away from questioning what is actually in the environment around us.
Oh, my bad. I was muted. My
Charles
bad.
Dickens, what is actually...
My bad. I was muted. Listen, I was just saying, pay attention to what I'm saying right here. I know y'all was paying attention when I start highlighting it, but if you notice it's structures. This is the bridge that they just showed you earlier in the photo. Hold on. Let me see where we at with it. Let me see if we can find that same depiction of that bridge. So listen, this bridge right here is the bridge that was just burnt down in the picture. I want y'all to pay attention to this bridge and pay attention to this tower temple, right? Let's go back to where we was. All right, boom. So now when you look right here, you see that same tower. We was looking at it from this side of the from the right side of the photo. But if you look, you see that same temple right here. They burnt the bridge right here that we just seen at the bottom. See that bitch on fire along with one boat. You know what I'm saying? A couple boats right here. Some niggas down here with cannons. Whole bunch of shit going on, right? Fuck the little shit. We want to talk about the megalithic structures that we see. We see this structure right here being burnt. The rest of this bridge. Some of these structures right here. And then you got the rest of these that obviously later on get burnt on. But this is a depiction painting. This is a painting of the 1840 fire. All right. Now look at all these structures, man. Look at all that shit.
Charles Dickens was said to have described Pittsburgh in 1842 as a city that had a great quantity of smoke hanging over it. In spite of having no formal education, after having left school to work in a factory because his father was in debtor's prison, he edited a weekly journal for 20 years, wrote 15 novels, 5 novellas, and hundreds of short stories and articles. He's one of many famous and incredibly accomplished people I have come across in my research, said to have little or no training in their respective fields, including art and architecture. The Third Presbyterian Church in Pittsburgh was said to have stopped the progress of the fire in its direction, only losing a wooden cornice. The Monongahela House, said to be Pittsburgh's first hotel and first built in 1840, destroyed by the 1845 fire, and subsequently rebuilt in 1847. Notice the electric streetcar, side by side with the horse-drawn carriages. The flames were said to move slowly, giving people time to remove themselves and their belongings, and going to places like the Hill District, said to be undeveloped except for the newly built Allegheny Courthouse.
Man, listen, these fires ain't no secret. I mean, it is a secret, but they don't talk about this shit. Shout out to my brother Hawk School, man. He one of the only people I've ever seen go in and talk about these fires in America. He's the first I've seen do this shit. Shout out to Michelle Gibson for doing these videos as well. Shout out to my brother Hawk School, man. Y'all show some love to my brother Hawk School in the chat. If you ain't following him, make sure y'all go follow Hawk School. If y'all like my channel, y'all gonna love his shit. Go check it out, man. Go follow my bro Hawk School on YouTube. All right, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Listen, we just now cooking up, man. We just now cooking up. Let's get these likes up.
Crossing the Monongahela River at the bridge there, which is now called the Smithfield Street Bridge. When the fire ended the next day, it was said to have destroyed 1/3 of the city, leaving scattered chimneys and walls in the ruins, and it was said, inexplicably, there were occasional buildings left untouched amidst the destruction. The Great Fire of Bucharest, in what is now Romania, took place in March of 1847, and was said to be the largest conflagration ever in Bucharest, destroying 1,850 buildings, and 1/3 of the city in its richest and most populated part. 1850 buildings. There is a weird number synchronicity embedded in this data point. So far, all of these fires except the 1845 Great Fire of New York City were said to have destroyed 1/3 of their respective cities. It was said to have started near the St. Demetrius Church, burning the Mahalla, or neighborhood of St. Demetrius. The word Mahalla is said to be Arabic in origin. In Eastern Europe, and burned the commercial streets of what is now called the Strada Francesa, the Strada Smardan, the Lipscani, where the CEC Palace, or Savings Bank Palace, is located on the left, compared with the Palace of Fine Arts in Mexico City on the right, and the Baratia Church, said to have burned down in the fire and reconstructed by 1848, and the big bell for it cast in 1855, paid for by Emperor Franz Joseph I of Austria, among other places in the old Bucharest. A reconstruction fund was said to have been started after the fire was put out, with contributions from the Prince of Wallachia, banks, churches, monasteries, the treasury, clerks and soldiers, the City Halls Association, and outside contributors. A reconstruction commission was formed, and so on and so forth. For an in-depth exposé of the modus operandi surrounding great fires, very similar to what I just shared about the Bucharest fire and its aftermath, I highly recommend that you look into Baltimore Fat's YouTube channel and view his stellar analysis of the chain of events surrounding the Great Fire of Baltimore of 1904 and its aftermath. He has been producing a series of videos about it, and more yet to come. Great stuff. The St. Louis Fire of 1849 was said to have destroyed a significant part of St. Louis, Missouri.
And now let's just take a look at Missouri in the 1840s. Look at these structures, man. They mimic the same structures through every state, every city. This is a global civilization or connected civilization from St. Louis to Texas to New York to Philly to Tennessee to South Carolina to DC. It doesn't matter. They're the same structure, style. They're the same geological area. It's the same people, man. You cannot lie about some shit like this, man. You see the dome in the background. You see that bitch that look like the state buildings, the Capitol building. Like they just, and you tell us that they got all the records from the 1800s. The 1800s is when they destroyed all the records and started to rewrite it. This is the 1840s to 1850s is the Reconstruction period. This is the Reconstruction period, you guys. Man.
1939 was said to have destroyed a significant part of St. Louis, Missouri, and many of the steamboats using the Mississippi.
Look, this is another photo of St. Louis once again. Another photo of St. Louis. Look at that. Look at these structures that you see in the background. Look at these structures right here. Long ass tower burned down. Look at these long ass towers with antennas on them. Electricity and shit burning them down. Look at these long towers. They got antennas on these bitches. Look, some shit right here producing. This ain't a fire that's coming off of there, but it's some type of something that's illuminating that's being caught. It ain't just smoke. That's some electricity. That's a building that's still active. Share the live stream, man. I need everybody in this live stream to share this at least one time. Let's get 400 people in the building. Let's get over 400. Let's try to work on getting 200 in this motherfucker first. Share the live stream. Let's try to get 200 people in the building, y'all. Let's continue. This is St. Louis, man. 1849, man. Look at the buildings here. How long would it think it would have took this build this whole city?
And Missouri rivers. These two rivers converged near St. Louis, Missouri River, and many of the steamboats using the Mississippi and Missouri rivers. These two rivers converge near St. Louis, pictured on the right, and I believe they are actually canals, in comparison with the Raccoon and Des Moines rivers in Iowa on the top left, and the Blue Nile and White Nile in Khartoum and Sudan on the bottom left. The fire was said to have started on the paddle-wheeled steamboat White Cloud, which was at the foot of Cherry Street on May 17, 1849. This same year also coincided with the beginning of the California Gold Rush, which started in 1849. St. Louis was said to be the last major city where travelers could get supplies before heading west for the California and Oregon trails. At any rate, the burning White Cloud was said to have been set adrift by the fire and ended up burning 22 other different types of ships along the way, which soon leapt to buildings on the shore, burning everything on the waterfront levee for 4 blocks to Main Street and Olive Street. It was said that as a result of these fires, a new building code required new structures to be built of stone or brick. Here you have an 1858 engraving of Main Street in St. Louis with its nice masonry and horse-drawn wagons and dirt-covered street. And here's another example of perfect framing of the famous St. Louis Arch between buildings from Laclede's Landing. This is the St. Louis City Hall, circa 1900, said to have been built in 1890. And here it is today, missing some things from the original. The first Great Toronto Fire was said to have occurred in 1849. Also known as the Cathedral Fire, it was the first major fire in the history of Toronto, with much of the business core of the city being wiped out, we are told, including the predecessor of St. James Cathedral, home of the oldest congregation in the city. The St. James Cathedral was said to have been rebuilt starting in 1850 and opening to the public in 1853. I have serious doubts about the veracity of that information. This is a depiction of the 1831 City Hall and Market Building at King and Front Street, said to have been destroyed and torn down in the 1849 Toronto Fire, and was said to have been rebuilt in 1850 and called St. Lawrence Hall, a meeting hall in a north-south orientation, and the first to be known as the St. Lawrence Market. The railways were said to arrive in Toronto in 1850, and street rail lines were said to have been operating from the Yorkville Town Hall in 1861 to the St. Lawrence Market. The Krakow Fire of 1850 in Poland was said to have started in July of that year and lasted several days, destroying about 10% of Krakow. It was said that in 1850, Krakow was still reliant on wood as a construction material, and that most of the 1,700 buildings in the city were wooden, and that masonry ones had wooden elements. This is a photo of Krupnice Street, on which the fire in Krakow was said to have started in the grain mill area. And I can show you the same street corner layout in Conakry, Guinea, in Africa on the top left, in Juarez, Mexico on the top right, Kherson, Ukraine on the bottom left, and Summerside on Prince Edward Island in Canada on the bottom right. The accident causing the Krakow fire is attributed to a miller and a smith who were trying to fix some equipment and ended up starting a fire which spiraled out of control.
That shit look blurry. Let me fix this.
Trying to fix some equipment and ended up starting a fire which spiraled out of control. Subsequently, the fire was said to have grown, affecting the city center. Students from the University of Krakow were said to have prevented the fire from causing more than superficial damage to the university's library.
I mean, look at this fucking structure, man. Look at the fucking craftsmanship. Look at this ornamentation. Look at the design just within the ornamentation. You can see a face on her. These motherfuckers crafted a face with his hands behind his back holding a motherfucking plate, like, and it's all through the room, like crazy ornamentation. Why would you add this over the top, extra, unordinary design to this? You see what I'm saying? Why would you add some shit like that to that? That's unbelievable if you ask me. You understand? Shout out to my nigga House School, man. Hey, we lighting the woods up. Another one. Shit, fuck it. This shit is amazing. Like, when I look at this shit, y'all don't even see what I see, man. I don't even think y'all see what I see. Like, I see some amazing shit right here. I see all this craftsmanship and ornamentation. I see fucking, let's measure it from the ground. This door probably about 6 foot, 7 foot. So the ceiling got to be what? 21 feet? 20 feet high? 20 foot tall? Come on, man. 20 foot tall ceilings? And y'all mean to tell us, and they don't even build buildings like that shit no more. They don't even build shit like that no more. They don't even build shit like that no more. So I'm wondering, like, why would they act like they constructed something and created these structures and no longer able to emulate them structures? It's like they started off smart and got dumber as time went on. That don't make no fucking sense, man. That don't even make no fucking sense, man.
Buildings said to be damaged or destroyed by this fire were the Krakow Bishop's Palace, the Wielopolski Palace, the Church of St. Francis of Assisi in Krakow, and the Basilica of Holy Trinity in Krakow. The fire was said to have caused economic stagnation in Krakow, the final establishment of firefighting service in 1865, and final restoration of affected buildings finishing in 1912.
Hold on, we just can't go by this motherfucking structure like this. Like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Like, this is a marvelous shit right here. Like, look, just the ceiling. Before we even start to work our way down to the sides and shit. Nigga, look at the ceiling. Yo. This shit is amazing, man. That shit's amazing, man. Yeah. Damn.
In my next video, I will be finishing this series by looking at historical fires that took place in the historical record between 1851 and 1871.
Bitch ass commercials. I would run y'all goddamn commercials and let it play, but y'all ain't cutting the check. Monetize a nigga channel or something. What you talking about? We ain't about to. Make sure y'all hit that like button down there, man. Hit the like button. You know what I mean? Hit that like button. You know what I mean? If you want to support the channel, you know what I mean? Cash out, PayPal information at the bottom of the screen, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Let's continue.
A close look into historical fires in different countries in this video that were recorded in the historical narrative as having occurred between 1851 and 1871. My name is Michelle Gibson. There was a 2-day fire in San Francisco in early May of 1851 that was said to have destroyed as much as 3/4 of the city. Here is the map of the burnt district of the 1851 San Francisco fire and a map of its exact location in the city today. I was able to pinpoint it right away by searching for a map of San Francisco's financial district and then grade in the affected city blocks for this comparison graphic. This is the historical narrative surrounding the fire. It was said to have occurred during the height of the California gold rush between December of 1849 and June of 1851. This was said to be an early daguerreotype, an early form of photography, of Portsmouth Square in San Francisco from 1851, sometime before June of 1851. Besides the fact that it looks like a mud flood scene, the fire was said to have started in Portsmouth Square in a paint and upholstery store on the night of May 3rd.
Damn, it do look like some shit that you would see at a in a mud flood. Look at this shit. You don't see nothing but mounds of dirt and mud around it, man. And it's like at an angle. Look at how it goes like slope at an angle, man. Like some of these buildings is halfway, then they get a little larger, then you get a full building finally at the end. It's like a slope of dirt. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like a little slope. You see what I'm saying?
High winds were said to carry the fire down Kearny Street, which runs north from Market Street to the Embarcadero and on its south end separates the financial district from Union Square and Chinatown. Here is a view down Kearny Street and its perfectly smooth and angled steep slope. And here it is from another direction, showing the Kearny Street steps on either side of it, also known as the Peter Macchiarini steps.
Oh, man, you can just tell, man. Look at this shit. Them steps. You think Big Bap gonna run up them motherfuckers and get to the top and wave his hands around like Rocky? You gotta be fucked up, cuz I'm not running up none of these steps, cuz I'm not running up none of these steps, man. I can't do those shit like that. Hell no. A1 gonna run up them steps with a weight in his hand. That nigga gonna be lifting weights, running up the steps, strong ass nigga. What's up? Shout out to my brother Unconscious one in the chat, man. That's the guy, A1 in the chat. A1, you running up them all these steps, fam? Yo, AP, that ain't nothing. I run up these motherfuckers right now, nigga. Shout out to my nigga A1, man. Shout out to DJ Cuddy in the motherfucking building, man. DJ Cuddy in the building, man. It's the place to be, man. Hey, this is the Wake and Bake Show. Let me know what y'all smoking on and what city y'all in United States, North America, North, South, Central, and conjoining islands. Let me know where y'all at, man. What y'all smoking on this Grand Rising, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button as y'all come in the live stream. He said, absolutely not. It's a lot of motherfucking steps, cuz. Look at this. That motherfucker sloped it down at a 90-degree angle. Probably about, let me see. I don't know. That's at least about 400 steps, 300 steps. Let's continue the live.
Steps said to commemorate an Italian-American modernist sculptor and jeweler of San Francisco. Here is a photo of the first Kearny Street Hall of Justice, a jail that was called a book and intake facility and said to have been built in 1912, rehabilitated by FDR's New Deal Works Project Administration in the 1930s, and then demolished in 1968.
Damn. See, that's the shit I'm talking about. How the fuck they gonna create some shit like this with wooden mechanics? They got wooden ladders, they got wooden hammers and shit. With, you know what I mean? They got the most low budget shit compared to what we got nowadays, and they gonna build the most magnificent structure. That's some shit that we can't even replicate today. That shit don't even make no sense, man. Look at the columns. Look at the dome with the antenna. Knowing that bitch got electricity on it, how the fuck this clock gonna run? You see, you see what I'm saying? Like, the gig is up. The fucking gig is up, man. We not letting that shit slide no more, man. We not letting that shit slide no more, man. Do you understand me? This shit is amazing. You got to use your brain, man. You got to critical think, man. You can't keep letting these people feed you the lies. They're lying. They're lying, man. And we're catching them in the lies. Shout out to each and every one of you guys out there in the chat, man. Without this shit, it won't work, man. They're lying. These are our structures, man. Facts. Facts. It ain't even nothing else to talk about. Here's the wood. It ain't even nothing else to talk about. Facts. We're here to catch them in a lie. Bitch, you lying.
It was a mighty grand building for a temporary jail that only existed for 56 years. This picture is said to be from 1925 of the old Hippodrome and Bella Union dance halls located between Kearny and Montgomery Streets. Located in what was called the Barbary Coast, which was the red light district of San Francisco. The Barbary Coast, or Barbaria, was also the name given to a vast region stretching from the Nile River Delta across northern Africa to the Canary Islands.
One said the Barbary Coast could be the southeast, though. It could be the southeast of America. You see what I'm saying? The Barbary Coast, the Berbers, wearing the motherfucker. When you go look at some of the Aborigines that occupy the southeast, they wore and actively traditions was the same. That's explained that what went on in the Barbary Coast. Facts. Like, y'all don't pay attention to the switcheroony, man. They gonna go all the way around the story to tell you that all you motherfuckers is ancient, and then try to just totally deny who the people are. Unbelievable.
This region stopped being referred to as the Barbary Coast, or Barbaria, in the early 1800s. This is the Columbus Tower, also known as the Sentinel Building, on Kearny Street, with its copper and white tile exterior. Construction of it was said to have begun before the 1906 fire, which it purportedly also known in the early 1800s. This is the Columbus Tower, also known as the Sentinel Building, on Kearny Street, with its copper and white tile exterior.
Copper and white, you can tell the whole building green now, goddamn. The whole goddamn building green. This bitch would have been shiny than a motherfucker back in the day. I'm talking about this motherfucker would have been shiny than a bitch. Imagine all that shiny, brand new, fresh brown, shiny ass copper like our skin be when you hit that oil or some Vaseline on it. Your ass be shining like a new penny, boy. I'm talking about magnificent shit. You understand me? Look at this building, man. Let me just zoom in on so y'all can see that real quick up close. Boom, look at that. At its beginnings, this is a copper building. It only got white interior. So imagine the white, the sunlight reflecting off the white. It's reflecting off the copper. You wouldn't have been able to see this bitch at a certain time with the sun shining. Facts. Come on, man. That bitch shining like a new penny, man.
Construction of it was said to have begun before the 1906 fire, which it purportedly survived. It is now primarily occupied by Francis Ford Coppola's production studio. From Kearny Street, the fire was said to shift south.
Like my nigga Hall School just said, with the antenna at the top. So this bitch would have been thumping with electricity. You'd have been able to plug up your little iPhones and laptops and shit. You'd have been able to plug up your little iPhones and little laptops and shit, man. Fact. See that shit? Look at this shit right here, man. This shit right here is amazing. That shit right here is amazing. Look at the screen right here. This shit is amazing, man. It was built already. Nigga, we built that shit. This is ancient shit, man. This come from Atlantis. This motherfucker was somebody's house in Atlantis, nigga. This was one house, nigga, one family. Nigga, they had 82 kids that they had gave birth to, nigga, living in one house. Nigga, this one house back in Atlantis days, nigga. What you talking about? Facts.
Into the downtown area. Well, the Columbus Tower is very close to the Transamerica Pyramid. And the place where the Transamerica Pyramid is located is interestingly in what appears to be the center of what was called the Burnt District. Construction of the Transamerica Pyramid was said to have started in December of 1969.
Hold on. See, I don't like that name. What's up with Transamerica? What the fuck is a Transamerica? Nah, hell nah. Fuck that. Hell no, I ain't. I'm not cool with that one. Fuck that. Fuck that. How y'all feel about that? Transamerica? Huh? The fuck is that? I don't even like the name, fam. Like, no, we got to do something different.
Appears to be the center of what was called the Burnt District. Construction of the Transamerica Pyramid was said to have started in December of 1969 and completed in 1972. Special things about the Transamerica Pyramid include a 32-pane cathedral-style glass top, which contains a 6,000-watt beacon light.
Oh shit, my mic. I fucked up. But listen, y'all mean to tell me that fuck, I don't even want to say this shit again. But listen, y'all mean to tell me that them old buildings back in the day that we just keep pointing out with the antennas on the top of it, you mean to tell me that they ain't shine like this that you see right here? That's what I was asking y'all. I'm like, that's all I'm asking y'all is like them old buildings that we used to say that we finding like that we finding in all these fucking depictions, these old buildings with these old ass antennas. You mean they wasn't shining like this? They had some type of electricity or ball at the top of that bitch? Come on, man. The gig is up. The gig is up, man. It ain't shit that they telling us that's the truth. If they telling you if they telling you with a bold face like that, listen, I'm telling you the God's honest truth. They lying like a motherfucker, man. They lying. Fact. Let's go.
This is the Bentley Reserve Building, formerly the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco, and now a conference center. What if the California Gold Rush, starting in 1849, was a cover story for a massive influx of workers into the Bay Area needed to dig San Francisco out of mud? This is said to be a daguerreotype.
Damn, that's a hell of a spin to some shit. What if the California Gold Rush and shit was to get people to dig San Francisco up out of the mud flood? They disguise it as a gold rush, as mining and shit, but they really digging up. Oh man, that's some shit right there. Let me run that back, man.
San Francisco, and now a conference center. What if the California Gold Rush, starting in 1849, was a cover story for a massive influx of workers into the Bay Area needed to dig San Francisco out of mud? This is said to be a daguerreotype showing a panorama of San Francisco Harbor in 1851. in the province of Quebec in Canada, stating that wood was the typical construction material of the time. The Great Montreal Fire took place in July of 1852 and said to have started at a...
Hold on. They saying that most of the great monumental structures was made of wood. That's bullshit. From the photos and the renditions that we're seeing, this is concrete, marble, and metal buildings. They're lying. There go another lie, y'all. I told you, you catch a lie, you scratch a thief. You understand me? You catch a lie, you scratch a thief. And we're gonna show y'all what these bitches stole too. Don't. The story gonna lead up. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna lead up to exactly what I've been saying. What me, A1, Ab TV, Chief Holiday, Jaguar, Hawk School, Truth. What we all been saying. Even you guys in the community, y'all coming right along and y'all say the same shit. You understand me? Oh man, there's some fire ass information. Let's
tavern on St. Lawrence Boulevard and quickly spread because of high winds and hot summer weather. From the tavern, it spread to the block between St. Denis Street and Craig Street, now St. Antoine Street, engulfing the St. Jacques or...
Come on, man. You can't tell me that this ain't no motherfucking magnificent ass shit right here. Look at this building. Let's just take a look at this shit right quick. That bitch got double archway. That bitch super lined out. The ornament, the design is so over the top. You know what I mean? This look like some shit that somebody would have whipped up if they was at a peak, at an advanced state of understanding. You understand me? This ain't just from no regular people just coming into an industrial age. This ain't from no people who just getting out of a black plague. This ain't no people who just got done slapping rocks and licking motherfucking dirt. You know what I mean? This come from advanced people, man. This ain't no horse and buggy and a wagon ass people, man, who built this shit. Highly advanced, man. Highly advanced, man. This shit is unbelievable. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Man, let's continue, man.
St. James in English Cathedral, said to have been rebuilt in 1857, burned down again in 1858, and rebuilt by 1860, and burned out again in 1933. It was purchased in 1973 by the University of Quebec at Montreal and demolished except for the spire and transept. They were then incorporated into the university's infrastructure. St. Jacques Cathedral was directly connected to the Barry de Montigny metro station. Here's some history.
I ain't gonna lie, this shit look like this shit was freshly dug up out of a motherfucking mud flood. Like, look at this shit. Like, let me put on the screen big for y'all. Y'all see that? Y'all see how this shit is right here? Look at that. This dirt and dirt on here and dirt over there, and this bitch building dug in a little pit and shit. Come on, man. The gig is up. These fuckers been lying. These motherfuckers just been lying, man. Can we get some fire emojis in the chat? Can we get 200 likes in the building? We need to get the likes up, man. We need to get these likes up, straight up. Support the channel too, man. We got to get these likes up. Y'all gonna hit the like button? Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. We ain't even done yet. We just now cooking. I got some shit lined up. I want to get to some of these underground cities in the DMV area. Where my people in the DMV area at, man? Drop them DMVs in the chat, man. If you from the DMV, drop the DMV in the chat, man. I want to know who in the DMV area today. I got something cooked up real nice for y'all. And don't be jealous of everybody else, because I got some shit for y'all too around the motherfucking globe too, nigga. We here in all the states, nigga. Okay, we see one DMV, Empress Cosmic Goddess. All right, shout out to you, sister. Good to have you in the chat. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kingdom of English, goddamn, DMV. Tehran Aries, DMV. The beautiful elder, Gretchen Helms, DC, the DMV. My man said Cali and the DMV. UAK, DMV. Okay, I see you. Alexandria. All right. DMV. Okay, y'all deep for real in here. Y'all came out for this. Okay. I got it for y'all. Just stay tuned, man. PG County. Man, chill out. Chill out, fool. Chill out, fool. What up, Mo? Chill out, Slim. Huh? We're going to get it for y'all, man. Just stay tuned, man. We're going to cook it up for y'all in just a motherfucking second, man. Let's get to the live stream, man.
Historical photos of what is described as the construction of this metro station in 1964. Is this new construction going on here or excavation? Here are similar looking photos showing evidence for the mud flood in comparison for appearance. St. Jacques Cathedral was also connected to Montreal's underground city, a series of office towers, hotels, shopping centers, residential and commercial complexes, convention halls, universities, and
now, this is an ancient structure that was put together in 1800s. Yeah, it just been newly updated, but the overall shit was put together in 1800s. Come on, man. Who putting up shit like this in the 1800s, man? Who putting up shit like this in the 1800s? Let's just keep it 1,000. This shit is a modern airport or some shit. Nigga, they done turned this shit into a fucking meat center or some shit. I don't know what the fuck this is. This shit is amazing, though. We ain't even got to the meat and potatoes yet, man. Let me just let this shit play out.
performing arts venues that are connected underground in the heart of downtown Montreal, all of which is completely integrated with Montreal's metro system. The fire spread to the Montreal General Hospital on Dorchester Street on Mont Royal, said to have been built in 1822, and the Theatre Royal. We are told within hours, 1/4 of Montreal, the oldest part of Montreal, was destroyed in Vieux Montreal. Here are some of the sights of Old Montreal today, with its masonry buildings and slanted streets. One more thing before leaving Old Montreal that I would like to share is the presence of an obelisk there. It was said to have been made from a block of granite that stands 41 feet or 12.5 meters above its base and commemorates the establishment of the settlement and fort of Fort Ville-Marie in May of 1642. In New Zealand, there was a fire in Auckland in 1858. Auckland is located in the northern part of the North Island and is New Zealand's largest city. It was said to have been founded in 1840. The 1858 fire was said to have destroyed about 50 buildings on High Street. and on Shortland Street. After this fire, we are told the commercial district of Auckland began to shift towards Queen Street, named after Queen Victoria. This is the Auckland Town Hall on Queen Street, with construction of it said to have started in 1909. The Auckland Ferry Building, said to have been built between 1909 and 1912. And the Britomart Transport Center at the foot of Queen Street. The Britomart Transport Center is a public transport hub in Auckland's central business district and the northern terminus of the North Island Main Trunk Railway Line. The building was said to have originally been a post office built in 1911. We are told the electric tram system arrived on Queen Street in Auckland in 1900, and use of this system was discontinued in 1956.
Now look at this. Let's look at the structures that's around already right here. You can see right here in the background, columns that's going up, another column. It's like a 6-story building on each side. Huge structures. And these people don't look like they got the motherfucking technology or the intuitiveness to motherfucking build nothing like that. Straight up. I just got to keep it real with you. It don't look like these little motherfuckers could build. They brains too small. These little white people right here in this photo. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker can't tell me a motherfucking thing about this shit, man. Facts. And they can't lie to y'all. Y'all see what's going on. All we got to do is pause the frame, look at the photo, look at the evidence, examine. Once you observe, you able to point out some shit that looks off to you. Once it looks off, you look closer. Once you look closer, you catch the lie. Boom, we got the setup. Facts.
The Great Fire of Troy in eastern New York State near Albany and Schenectady was said to have taken place in 1862. This would have happened during the time frame of the American Civil War and was caused by a spark from the engine of a train that caused the Green Island.
1862, look at these little buildings in the background. Who built these structures for these bitches to be on? You know what I'm saying? 1862, 4 years before 1865. This is in upstate New York, Troy. What else did we see in Troy? That big ass building that they said they turned into a hotel. You remember that building they said they turned into a hotel with no other buildings around it? Yeah, that's also was in Troy. Troy University. They turned that building into Troy University. Facts.
The bridge to catch on fire, and which quickly spread from gale force winds. Here's the bridge depicted as a wooden structure. But wait, here's a postcard showing the Green Island Bridge as a steel truss bridge. Troy's Union Station, or depot, was said to have burned down and rebuilt in this form by 1900, only to be torn down in 1958. There was even a subway station there. The Rensselaer Polytech Institute in Troy was said to have been founded in 1824 and is the oldest continuously operating technological university in the English-speaking world.
I mean, just look at this structure right here. This structure right here is magnificent. Magnificent. Look at this structure, man. Come on, man. Burnt down. And listen, mind you, most of these buildings were buildings that held your records. So how the fuck does the Library of Congress have original documentation when most of the original documentation was burnt the fuck down during the great burning of North America, in the buildings, in the cities, in the rebellions, in the wars? It was a war on your structures. It was a war on your technology. It was a war on your information. It was a war on your documentation of your technologically advanced of your ancestors, man. Facts.
And the Americas. The physical plant of this university was said to have been completely destroyed by this fire, and that when it was rebuilt, all of the buildings steadily moved east, up the hill overlooking Troy and the Hudson River. Next, I would like to look at 3 fires that have come to us in history as acts of war during the American Civil War. The first was the burning of it.
Boom. She said she about to talk about some fires. Let's run that back so y'all can hear. She said she about to talk about fires that was destroying of the cities in acts of war. This is an act of war that we got right here, y'all. Acts of war.
Next, I would like to look at 3 fires that have come to us in history as acts of war during the American Civil War. The first was the burning of Atlanta, which we are told took place in 1864.
Damn, look at Atlanta right here. That's crazy. Oh, shit. That's Atlanta? What the fuck? They burnt down Atlanta, man. And we know Atlanta is AKA the headquarter of Atlantis. So they burnt down all the technology that was around that bitch. Come on, man. These bitches is ruthless bastards. Don't tell me they did that to Atlanta, man. Damn.
Atlanta was an important rail and commercial center at the time of the Civil War. Atlanta was an important rail, which we are told took place in 1860. The first was the burning of Atlanta, which we are told took place in 1864.
I can't even move on yet because there's so much to deal with. Look at the structures that was in Atlanta. Don't tell me this like Stonewall or Marcus Garden. You know what I'm saying? Or what is this? Stonewall, nigga? Look at this. What is this? Stonewall right here, nigga? This east side of Atlanta, nigga. College Park area, nigga. What the fuck? Oh, no, I think this downtown area where the jail is now. I think this building is where the Fulton County Jail is now. Oh, shit. Shout out to my niggas in Atlanta, man. Who in Atlanta in the building, man? Shout out to Atlanta, man. I need all my niggas in Atlanta to drop an ATL in the chat, man. If you in the Atlanta area, man, drop an ATL in the chat, man. We turn it up, man. Let me get an ATL in the motherfucking chat, man. Shout out to Georgia Peach. Shout out to my nigga Big Delta, aka Aboriginal Reacts, man. The Zone 4. Okay, damn, y'all popping out deep in the A. Let me see who else we got in the A. We got Big Chief, fuck you, crackers. Hold on, my nigga Empress Goddess said she in 5 Point. Shout out to 5 Point area, man. Hey, shout out to Bougie Bougie. Shout out to Miss Bougie. I ain't gonna fuck up on your name and shit. But listen, she in the A. Black Wolf in the A. Who else in the A? Big Dog Philly in the A. Lucis Dumper in the A. Elizabeth's in the A. Oh no, she said that's downtown Atlanta. My bad. Oh no, she said she from Atlanta too. My bad. All right, she turned up. That's what's up, man. Hey, check Homily Roots in the chat. You already know, fam. You know when I hit the A, I'm pulling up on Chick Homily Roots. But look, nigga, yeah, that's Atlanta. Y'all deep as hell in Atlanta. Y'all don't even be popping out to events though. What's up with that though? Cause they just had something in Atlanta where Trey Ali, motherfucking Job Bricks, who else was in the A? Threads, huh? Did nobody pop out though? Y'all in the A, y'all didn't pop out for Aboriginal events. Let me find out. Y'all fake Aboriginals in the chat, man. Shout out to Brown Wolf in the A, man. Next time I pop out in the A, you understand me? Once I pop out, I want to see everybody pop out that I seen just in the chat too. And they go for you DMV niggas too that said the DMV. When I pop in the DMV, I better see y'all. Mm-hmm. Brown Wolf, man, you didn't put it in the chat, gang. I forgot, fam. Drip check. You was late on the ATL, fam. I forgot. Hope I ain't missed nobody else's ATL. Let me see. Who else in this bitch? Did I miss somebody else that's from the A? All right. Oh, no, I ain't miss nobody else. Come through, light up a field, man. You know, I'm coming through to drop some of that heat, man. All right, man, let's get back to the bill, though. Let's get back to it.
First with the burning of Atlanta, which we are told took place in 1864. Atlanta was an important rail and commercial center at the time of the Civil War. General Sherman and his Union forces, we are taught, captured the city of Atlanta on September 2nd of 1864.
We got to talk about this, though. Zoom in. Look at that building, man. Look at this. This is a real photo. Like, this ain't no painting. Like, this is a real building. Like, this is real footage of that bitch. Like, back in the day, these bitches in using wooden tools and shit. And they built this concrete structure. You believe they built that shit? This is obvious evidence of two different technologically advanced structures and people that thrived in this area. One that you see that is working with wooden primitive tools, and one that built a great concrete structure that you see right here in this background right here. You see what I'm saying? Facts. This shit wild, man. Let's continue, man. That shit wild. Let's continue.
And occupied it from then until November of 1864. He gave orders to destroy Atlanta as a transportation hub and as a war material manufacturing center, and in particular, the railroad system and everything connected to it. His orders were carried out, destroying physical infrastructure, and on November 15th, everything that had been destroyed was set on fire. Columbia, the capital of South Carolina, was said to be an important political and supply center for the Confederacy. Rail lines were said to have reached the city in the 1840s, and the railroad lines going through there were primarily concerned with transporting cotton bales. Columbia was said to have surrendered to General Sherman on February 17, 1865.
Damn, we got to talk about that too, though. Let's zoom in on that. Look at this. Columbia, South Carolina, 1865. This is, I guess, a depiction of what they seen. This building tore down. This shit ruined. Damn, they done demolition in. This is after they probably started working. That's probably like a 4-year war that went on. You know, they hit Columbia about what they hit there, 1861, 1862. You know what I mean? It's about a 3 to 4 year run. They went to war there, turned down all of them great structure. Look, it's buried, ruined. They ain't even got no top on this. Half of the building gone in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of white honkies down here clapping and cheering and slapping hands and shit. You know what I mean? Happy they done destroyed our structures, man. For real. That's what we looking at, man. Shout out to all the American Aborigines and all the FBA brothers and sisters tuning in, man. Make sure you hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the channel, man. Hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the channel, man. Let's go.
After the Battle of Rivers Bridge. On the same day, the fires started, burning much of Columbia, though there is disagreement between historians regarding whether or not the fires on that day were accidental or intentional. However, the next day, General Sherman's forces destroyed anything of military value, including railroad depots, warehouses, arsenals, and machine shops. Here are some photos of Columbia's historic infrastructure. The third major Civil War fire was the April of 1865 burning of Richmond, the capital of Virginia and of the Confederate States of America. In this case, the fire was said to have been started by Confederate forces evacuating Richmond. It was also known as the evacuation fire. This is a lithograph depicting it by Currier and Ives. This huge, classical temple-like building was the Exchange Bank of Richmond, said to have been damaged by the fire. Here, said to have been damaged by the fire. Here's another view of.
Let's look at it right here from this view, man. That's really crazy if you think about it. The structuring of this shit, man, it's huge. This is a huge monument. Obviously, demolition, probably hit with cannonballs for years, try to be set on fire. I mean, they just totally demolished this building and they didn't have nothing to do with it. They don't have any emotional value to it. They don't have any spiritual connection to it. They don't have any ancestral lineage that blood, sweat, and tears went into building this shit because they're not connected to it. That shows that a prior civilization was here and that they just trying to get rid of them. This is the same thing the second and third dynasties did to the first dynasties in Egypt. Showing you that whoever the second and first dynasties wasn't the same the people who established it that was in the first dynasties. Facts. Let's continue, man.
To have been damaged by the fire. Here's another view of Richmond and its state capitol building in the middle of the picture, as seen from above the canal basin after the 1865 fire. This is the location of the canal basin in Richmond. And here's what the canal basin looks like up close. So, I just learned Richmond, Virginia is a city of canals. I was not aware that Richmond had that distinction. But then again, I am finding a lot of places that do have it in my research. Richmond was also a transportation hub and the terminus of 5 railroad lines. It looks like there were 2 named star forts on this map of Richmond and the surrounding areas, Fort Johnston and Fort Jackson, and possibly many more that don't have names that are depicted as various shapes in the landscape. There are suspicious elements going on in these 3 Civil War fires. intentional destruction of infrastructure of these transportation hubs, especially rail lines, but so much more than that. What was really going on here? I don't think the answer to these questions can be found in the books of the history we have been taught. I'm going to finish up by highlighting several fires that took place on the exact same day in 1871, and one fire that took place on the following day. The Great Chicago Fire was said to have started on October 8th of 1871 and burned 3.3 square miles, or 9 kilometers squared, over a 3-day period. Here is another Currier and Ives print, this one depicting the Chicago Fire, from northeast across the Randolph Street Bridge. The fire was claimed to have started around 9 p.m. on October 8th in a small barn belonging to the O'Leary family, and that the shed next to the barn was the first building consumed. Here's an infographic that nicely summarizes all of the data points surrounding the Great Chicago Fire, right down to who is given credit for rebuilding after the fire. The predominance of wood buildings was one of the explanations given for creating the flammable conditions that fueled the fire. Yet here are some photographs taken after the Chicago Fire showing what remained. This one is showing a ruined, yet still beautiful stone aqueduct that looks like the famous one in Segovia, Spain. Here's another one with shells of stone masonry and piles of various types of masonry. This photo is interesting. What exactly are the mule-drawn trams there for in this photo? Trying to carry on as usual? Or serving some kind of other purpose after the fire's destruction? The Peshtigo Fire was described as a large forest fire that took place primarily in northeastern Wisconsin. Peshtigo was the largest community in the affected area. It was the deadliest wildfire in American history, with estimated deaths of 1,500 to 2,500, though it is largely forgotten in our collective memory, unlike the Great Chicago Fire of the same day. The Great Michigan Fire of 1871 was comprised of 3 separate fires: the Port Huron Fire, the Manistee Fire, and the Holland Fire. The Port Huron Fire burned a number of cities, including Port Huron and White Rock, as well as much of the countryside of the Thumb region of Michigan. This is an historic picture of the Port Huron City Hall. What started out as a library and is now a museum in Port Huron, and the Federal Building and U.S. Courthouse in Port Huron. This is the Manistee Fire Department, said to be the oldest continuously manned fire station in the world. Interesting to note that this fire station was said to have been built in 1888, 17 years after the Manistee Fire in 1971. Then there was the Holland, Michigan Fire on the same day. Holland, Michigan looks like, well, Holland in Europe. This
Damn, look at this flat ass tail. Hey, shout out to Steph, and shout out to Smoke Signal. Shout out to Smoke Signal for the cash out donation. We appreciate all the support, man. Shout out to Smoke Signal. Shout out to my nigga Jonathan James for supporting the $1 challenge. He said, damn, it feels good to be Aborigine. That's a fact, man. It definitely feels good to be Aborigine, man. If you want to shop and wear some of the Aboriginal clothing, make sure you go to weare2am.com. You know what I'm saying? Go get some of that Aboriginal merch, man. We got my brother touching this one on the panel, man. What's going on, A1?
Peace to the guys. Don't forget if you want some of that Aboriginal gear also, you can go to my T-shirt Spring account, cop yourself something fresh for the summertime, represent for your people, represent for the nation, represent for the Aborigines. Peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses. Shout out to all.
Is there any way you can shoot me that link in text message? I can drop that in the chat real quick for the people to go hit that T-shirt Spring, man, and shop around. Make sure y'all shop Aborigine, man. If you want to be an Aborigine, you walk act like Aborigine, you talk to Aborigine, make sure you, dress like one too, man. You know what I mean? Shut up with the
I got you. Give me 1 second, because if I go off the link, it's gonna cut off. So I mean, if I go off the screen and go to open up new web browser, it's gonna cut off. But
It's
I'll
all
put it in there definitely. But yeah, shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to all the Aborigines, North, South, Central, as well as the conjoining islands. Shout out to, like I said, all the gods, the goddesses, and like I said, if you're watching this, then you understand that you are a god and a goddess in human form. You understand? In human form. So understand that. So, definitely, man. Michelle Alexander, be dropping some heavy bombs, my dude.
Yeah, definitely dropping some bombs, man. Definitely drop some bombs in this motherfucker. I got some bullshit lined up. It's gonna be a part 2. I got the DMV area that we're gonna be exploring. We're gonna be doing Baltimore unveiled. You understand me? We're gonna be touching on some shit in Baltimore, DC, Maryland, DMV area. Excuse me, Vanderbilt. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be getting into Asheville, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be getting into a few things of these underground cities, and we're gonna give them the part 2. We're gonna give them the part 1 to that right now. Shout out to Tiller Trucker and Linguistics for sending in the Cash App donation, aka King Victor. Shout out to King Victor for the Cash App donation. We really appreciate all the support, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button, man. I appreciate all the support. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Drop them fire emojis in the chat if y'all are enjoying the bill so far right now, man. We got A1 on here right now, man. A1, you got the flow for a second, man. I ain't even, you know what I'm saying? You got the flow for a second, man.
Yeah, man. This only, what I'm saying, prove what we read in American Encyclopedia stands. And that's why I say, like, as far as the term Indian, I keep telling people that's an observation. That's not a destination. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We actually, like, we're going back and forth on these terms or who we are. At this point in time, anything that connects you to this landmass of the Amaru or the Amaru key,
Right.
make sure Amaru can. You understand what I'm saying? And at this point in time, you can pretty much create your own term that, you know what I'm saying, and put it on record and let people know. Because like I tell people, like, one of the brothers, I had put a comment on one of his channels. He was like, he don't rock with me no more because I said I'm not an Indian. I never said I'm not an Indian. I'm more than just an Indian, but an Indian is an observation that my people are Tanchans and Aborigines to this land. I don't have to just ride with the term Indian. You know what I'm saying? Because I know where the term came from.
Right.
I know all of the documentation says in American Indian, but like I said, at the same time, these motherfuckers is writing these documentations and documenting shit, nigga. We was still running shit. So I don't know who they talking about at the end of the day because we still was in power. Ain't no white people come here and take nothing. Ain't no white people come here and create nothing. Ain't no white people come here and enslave you. You never will be a slave because you're not a Slavic. So even when we talk about a lot of this stuff, Europeans was not running nothing in the Amaru.
Absolutely not, man. They was not running a damn thing in America. Only recently, as the late 1800s, is when shit started to shift.
Yeah, dealing with the Rothschilds,
the Rockefellers, the Rockefellers, the Freemen.
Mm-hmm. And also, a lot of that got to do with the Titanic. The Titanic wasn't a fucking love story. The Titanic was a tragic story of how they killed off all the Aborigines that had power and had state and had land and was fucking trillionaires.
That's what these records are destroyed. They don't even have documentation of who ran and what years, who was in power of the anti-federal government, which obviously we have documentation that they was empowered in the 1830s all the way up to 1876.
That's right. And like, you look at that book, and I was telling Chief this yesterday, right? And this is just a myopic view of it. If you go back to the Americas in its earliest depiction, and you see the image of the three Europeans carrying the motherfucking goddess, you understand? The goddess carrying her, you gotta ask yourself, wait a minute, my dude. If Europeans came here and enslaved you, why are they carrying? And who reversed this? Who put them on the bottom and put us on top, or was we on top and they did the reverse or the switcheroo?
Right.
So you got to always consider that, Europeans was created in America. You understand? They're not indigenous nowhere on this planet. They say they from Europe, but guess what? We can't find you. We can't find you. And what Michelle Gibson was saying about the Barbary, right? Understand this, like the Barbary.
I wanted you to touch on that, most certainly. I'm glad you brought that up. Damn, you must have be reading my motherfucking mind, nigga. Go ahead, you got
that's called synchronicity. But the Barbary Coast, what they call the Mediterranean. North Africa is the fucking Mediterranean, my dude.
Right.
Let's just stop this bullshit. Let's stop saying that, okay, you cross this water and this is Europe and this is... No, it's the fucking Mediterranean too, nigga. The Mediterranean. And like I said, shout out to all the haters too, that when I brought forth that book, the Algonquin Conquest in the Mediterranean 11,500 years ago, shout out to all the fucking Native Americans such as Cormeo and Kiowa and the rest of these dudes that went through all the trouble to refute a book when all of these niggas bring out books all the time and nobody's never questioning or challenging this book. Why are you challenging a book where it's telling you the Algonquin tribes would have been in the DMV area. The Powhatans was Algonquin.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So they're telling you that these people, such as the Powhatans, was traveling 11,500 years ago, and they was creating, they was conquering, and not even conquering, because I don't believe that the people that's over there was over there. I believe that it was an empty land, and we went and we took our people there, and we created colonies there. And then later on, with the creation of all these different races of people, you know what I'm saying, with the Asians and the Europeans and the East Indians, right? With the creation of them, they was there as our workers. And I'm not saying workers, because remember, you gotta, even today, we had a family, right? We had a family, you got a family of 20 siblings and a mother and a father, right? Everybody gonna have to hold their weight. Somebody gonna be washing clothes. Somebody gonna be helping construction or building. Like if it's a fucking hole in the roof, you're gonna grab your boys and come on, man, get that plywood right there. Hold that hammer, get this nail. I'm about to go. Pass me that plywood. That's that type of shit. Somebody gonna be out there farming. Everybody gonna have different tasks to make one task so we can survive. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And part of that survival thing was like, even when we get plantations, nigga, like I was telling Chief yesterday, you bring up the term plantation to a nigga, that's like holding the cross up to Dracula. Motherfuckers like, oh, no plantation. Nigga, a plantation ain't nothing but a larger fucking farm. You know what I'm saying? In which, if we had trades and we had people pulling up that was ready or putting in orders, just like right now. Nigga putting in order, look, man, I need 20 pumpkins. I need probably about 50 lemons. I need collard greens.
I need 75 pounds of roughened cotton already. You know what I'm saying? So get that shit ready.
Exactly. That type of shit.
6 pounds of corn, we gotta some cornmeal, nigga.
Yup. So and then take this in consideration. Okay, all right, let's just take us out the equation. If we didn't build these buildings, then who the fuck built them? If I'm in a fucking Atanchan, nigga, I'm an A1, a Atanchanist one, meaning one sprung from the motherfucking soil. So my family been here, and I've been here on this continent as long as this continent existed. You understand? That's what an Atanchan is, nigga. Atanchan don't have no black European ancestors. And what is like I said, man, I'm gonna talk to you later about this, AP. But we gonna have a conference with a gentleman who we've been having differences with. If you up to it or whatever, individual reached out to me, and I'm down for it as long as we can put away all of this nonsense. Or if we want to do the debate, if we want to debate any of this shit, I'm open to that too. But as far as Black Europeans, remember the
Man,
Algonquin conquest.
I'm not pushing. We killing that narrative.
Yeah.
And that's dead. That Black European shit is exposed. That's the Pan African 2.0.
Mm-hmm. And when you cross-reference the buildings, that's over in Morocco, that's over in Spain, that's over in the Portugal. If you pull up Vatican City, right, and you look at the buildings in Vatican City, they're the same fucking buildings here, bro. The same buildings you see behind Montezuma with the fucking domes on it, and with the three-collar pillars, and also with the triangular type roof or type structure. You understand?
Hey,
you see what I'm saying?
that's a fact though, and it's even in the emblem of America that you was talking about with the lady being carried by the Europeans. And before you go in on that, I want to say shout out to Leonardo. Shout out to Leonardo for the Cash App donation. We appreciate all of the support. Make sure y'all share the live stream, support the channel, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Hey, man, support the channel before y'all get in here, man. And hey, while y'all coming in the building, hit the like button. Let's get 250 likes in the building. We got A1 on the fucking pedal. For crying out loud.
So check this out, right? So boom. The history they tell you in Indian. See, when you first come into this information, my grandmother said I was an Indian. Oh, cool, great, wonderful, splendid, great, right? So now, because you don't know your history and you think that the history that your family have now or what your family is currently doing, you was taught by Europeans, and you're not even considering the fact that you taught the Europeans. Everything that we doing, we taught them. So everything that we doing now is shit that we've been doing, right? So now when you attach yourself to the term Indian, you look up the history of the Indians, and you see how the Indians was living nomadic and all this, that, and the third. And then you connect yourself to that, and then you disconnect yourself from the stuff that Michelle Gibson and John Levi and some of these other brothers, such as myself, is saying. So now you can't conceive the fact that we was out here creating structures. Now you go back to the American Indian encyclopedia. Shout out to that. Definitely shout out to my brother Jaguar Omek. We're gonna be revamping that. We're gonna be doing upgrading, updating some of the information on that. We're gonna be doing, man, AP, we're gonna definitely do a pay-per-view on that. Most of my information, it's for the people. You know what I'm saying? But this one we're gonna do a heavyweight jam. Is definitely
it's gonna be, we got a pay-per-view we putting together, which is the American Encyclopedia re-advised with exclusive new evidence and photos to go with it. So man, we got evidence of everything, man, that's in that encyclopedia that you read. What you're reading, we're gonna put the visuals to it. It's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be a dope ass live stream. Y'all definitely got to be a part of it. We will be shooting out the flyers sometime this week and promoting it a little more, man. So just be in tune with it. Stay tuned. I want all y'all to be involved with that, man. We got 275 people in here. Let's try to get 300 people on the live. Everybody share the live stream. Please. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the American Aborigines. We humbly appreciate everybody for coming in. But yeah, man, share the live stream, man. Let's try to get 300 people in this thing. But yeah, we got the pay-per-view coming up. The American Encyclopedia re-explored is going to be dope, man. You're going to want to be there, man. All your customs, cultures, inventions, and innovations all given to you in one live stream.
Definitely, that's what's up, man. It's going to be like a reunion. Me, you, and Jag. And shout out to Jag if he listening.
Wait, man. This shit is going to be a classic.
They definitely gonna be in on this. But like I'm saying, like as far as these structures and the technology that was here, if we're Tanchans and we Aborigines and we already got clues that we invented every motherfucking thing, so why would you take yourself out of the equation? The people who inventing this shit, this is not in Indian history. This is the shit that they telling you. They telling you when they came here, the reason they took the motherfucking land because we wasn't utilizing it properly. But now Michelle Gibson is showing you evidence that it was a highly technical, advanced civilization here. When are you motherfuckers gonna put yourself in that fucking seat and stop thinking you lived in teepees and wampas and you was some fucking hunter gatherer, some
Snapping
fucking
rocks, licking trees and shit, man.
yeah. And these are in all the cities where your people reside at now. You understand? All the cities. We are not no fucking how do you say that? In desert or wilderness people.
Primitive nomad people.
Yeah, we're not them. We're the motherfucking gods and the fucking goddesses that all of this fucking technology thrive off of 2 fucking days. But you niggas think they give you the history that you crackheads and you drug addicts and you ain't nothing but rappers and nothing but fucking savages.
Pookies and Ray Rays and Tishas and Tashas. You see what I'm saying? That's what they pump down your damn throat. All you can be is a fucking rapper. All you come from is rappers, drug dealers, crackheads, ball players. They give you the same bullshit ass story.
That's a fact.
And you niggas exurban don't know what you come from. Don't know that these downtown old cities structures that they call in the municipal building or the general hall is your ancient ancestors structures that they left around.
That's a
fact. They stole it.
That's right. They like I said, my dude, the first lie is taking yourself out of that state that you're a slave. Because the word slave comes from the word Slav, and the word Slav is an ethnicity. It's not a motherfucking condition, nigga. It's only a condition because of the so many Slavs sold by fucking conquering people. You understand? And it's like, it's too much history to, you know what I'm saying, to basically prove this. We showing you slave books. We showing you the fucking Civil War, the forgotten cause of Civil War. They got over 6 slave books. You know what I'm saying? With the fact that we got a fucking black slave owner manual of 1830. You were still supposed to be enslaved. You understand? So when do you want to take yourself out of this fucking equation? I don't believe ain't nobody come here and build nothing while we were sitting there watching and farming and shit. Nobody built, because the places that these people come from, they don't even have this fucking technology. And if they do got the technology, then now you got to say, well, wait a minute. The shit over here is older. We already showed you that the pyramids in North America, in America's period, are older than the pyramids in fucking Egypt, which everybody glorified.
That's a fact.
So now the building structures here are older, and like even in Tariqnasheed. And shout out to my brother, shout out to Dakota Bay for bringing this to my attention, man.
Tariqnasheed was like New York on an island, man.
And in the middle of Tariqnasheed was a fucking 100-foot obelisk. The same thing that was in the middle of Vatican City.
The same thing you look at in Central Park.
That's a fact. And it's not even in Central Park in Carolina, in one of the civic center or the cities or the municipal ordinance. It was a fucking obelisk. It's obelisk all. When we go to the St. Louis World Fair, you see obelisks. You see the same art structures that you see all throughout the Americas. And we even verified this shit through the American Indian Encyclopedia and showed you that we was creating structures, reservoirs. Fuck it, man. Listen, this shit, the history is endless. All of the history that people use to gather resources or to be self-sufficient or to survive came from the motherfucking gods and the goddesses, aka the Aborigines and the Tanchans of the America. Or even if you want to get technical with the shit, you can call yourself a fucking Atlantean, because Atlantis is in America. And them same building structures that AP is showing are the same structures that they show you in fucking Atlantis, nigga. In Atlantis.
Facts.
You understand? So, you can step out of the fact that a lot of people telling us, oh, the indigenous people here was Indians and this, that, and the third. And like I said, man, a lot of people that's in the community, shout out to them. I don't agree with everybody, but everybody have a part to play. I don't agree with no Europeans coming here, black Europeans coming here and doing any shit without our fucking knowledge, my dude. And like I said, they couldn't come here and own shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, we put them to work. You understand? We put a lot of them motherfuckers to work, nigga. And through jealousy, and because we were the ones that was in power, and we was the motherfucking the people who owned the estate of the Americas, a lot of them got jealous. A lot of them sided with a lot of these motherfucking Slavics, and a lot of them sided with them in order to take over our civilization. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother Rod Hayes said, the KKK, the Black Hand. That's why you had black KKK men or Klansmen, because they was helping the Europeans. They was helping the fucking Europeans take over what we built and classifying your ass as fucking colored, Negro, black, African American, etc.
Right.
You understand? So definitely, man, shout out to the guy at AP for continuing the trend and continuing to teach the people and give people a greater perspective on who we are and who we're not. You know, shout out to the viewers, man, for just being here and you know, being and allowing yourself to become teachable and learning a lot of this stuff, because a lot of this stuff is stuff that you're gonna grab the fucking torch and you're gonna run with the torch and you're gonna be able to tell people and have these bills and edify and educate people. So
shout out to the chat, man. Most importantly, man, we really appreciate everybody for sticking around and understanding the information, double checking and doing the cross references, understanding and building your own or adopting and borrowing a good methodology to be able to distribute this information, man. It's very, very beautiful. The Aboriginal information is becoming abundant. Shout out to how far it's came, man. It reached a no jumper platform. No Jumper is the perfect platform for the urban community. They watching these communities, they watching these platforms, and to see the Aboriginal conversation come up is very, very dope. And to see it keeps transpiring and to piggyback onto Chief Holiday channel, having the No Jumper guy on his channel is just dope. We really, really appreciate it. We really,
this information right here is going to it's going to rattle cages, my dude. Once it get out, and like I said, I from time to time I check out Tariqnasheed. I used to fuck with Tariqnasheed. I seen all the hidden colors, but at this point in time, we're Tariqnasheed teachers when it comes to this shit, because he don't have the same point of view as what we speaking. You know, he used the term Aborigines or whatever, but I don't think he understands how far.
He really don't understand. But guess what though? He's speaking on Aboriginal. People want to understand what's Aboriginal, and nobody's more equipped to talk about Aboriginal besides the people who's been talking and pushing Aboriginal. Shout out to Intention this one. Shout out to my brother Chief the Billy Go Holiday. You understand me? Shout out to Ab TV. You feel me? Shout out to Jaguar. Speaking of Chief the Billy Goat, man. Shout out to Chief the Billy Go Holiday, man. We got Chief the Billy Go Holiday on the panel, man. What's going on with it?
AP, A1, peace to the guys, man. How y'all feeling, man?
I'm feeling good.
Peace to the guys, man. Peace to Supreme Chief Holiday in the motherfucking building. That's right. Hey, man. Yeah, I know, man. I had to come on here, man, and show some love, man. See the goats on here. See the guys on here. You know what I'm talking about? That's a fact. So I know y'all in here building, man. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a reaction video to the brother, your brother Rod Hayes. You know what I'm saying? I heard some stuff he was talking about. I just said, well, I wanted to watch that, live, and I was supposed to do a live reaction on it. But when we talk about the movement, man, and we're gonna say the awakening, you know what I mean? We talk about movement. That entails that things are moving. If you're not moving, you've been left behind. So we're moving. This movement is not stagnant. It's the awakening. You know, people are waking up. People are saying, "Hey, man, we're not from Africa. We from here." That's that. And for Tariqnasheed to go on the No Jumper podcast, man, and say Aboriginal, that's big. I don't think you guys are really paying attention. That's
how big this is, you know what I'm saying, as far as just this terminology. And, you know, you guys know when we take that, we want more. We the Tanchans. We sprung from this soil. You know what I'm saying? We start talking math. We start talking science. Every curriculum counts. Because guess what? Imagine this right here. Only thing you know is grandma. Your grandma. You don't know nothing else, right? Because you don't know nobody else's grandma. And then you get into a conversation with somebody that's talking alleles and start talking about all this other stuff that you don't know shit about. You're going to look like a fool. You're going to look like a fool. You know what I'm saying?
And even with the
yeah, and then
genealogy,
that person, huh?
Look, even with the genealogy, because if you don't have no history if you don't have no history to follow up with the fact that you got genealogy, you know, people gonna ask you, well, what language was the Aborigines speaking? Well, what was the Aborigines trade, nigga? And then we go and then we pull up Michelle Gibson or the World Fairs, and motherfucker eyes gonna pop out their fucking head, nigga. When you talk about, you know, nigga eyes gonna pop out their head like, y'all ain't build them, nigga. Indians are savages and fucking living in teepees and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, nah, nigga, I don't concur with that. Absolutely not. You understand? So,
I mean, you know, talking about the encyclopedia, for instance, you know what I'm saying, and all the inventions. But, you know, every year, right? Think about this, you guys. Every year, February, right, they have Black History Month, right? And then everybody be so excited. And they talk about all these inventions and shit, right? Modern inventions that the whole world. And it just seems like every year I was growing up, it just seems like it was just more and more inventions. You'd be like, damn, I didn't know we invented the elevator, the stoplight. It's just all these things that motherfuckers is using today all around the world.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. You can't really go around what we call modern society and sustain yourself and active and stay in a technologically advanced state without using an invention that comes from the Aborigines, man. Just that simple.
Period.
When you start, you need a light bulb in your house, right?
Shit, you need electricity. Like, I mean, just so many things, man. Running water. What are we doing?
Water. You see what I'm saying?
Hammer.
You need a hammer.
Nigga. We invented the hammer. We invented the.
What are you talking about? Oh, you need that kid in that little bitty room. You gotta make some space, nigga. Bunk beds. You see what I'm saying? Like it's
navigating.
A fire escape, nigga.
Yeah.
A fucking fire escape, nigga. So,
agriculture.
Like, come on, my dude.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
Irrigation, navigation. What are we talking? Civilization. We're the civilization givers to the world, man. Respect to the check it. And I think the problem is that the way that things have been told, as if it comes from east to west, or it comes from Europe to us, language, religion, culture. And they didn't bring American culture to America. I'm sorry. It's America. So the culture in America comes from America. It doesn't come from Russia. It doesn't come from China. It comes from America. Okay? So it's just crazy to me, man. You know how we just so slow when it comes to all these inventions that the American Negro, the American Aborigine, the American Indian, these are descriptive fucking terms. And for people to be mad that's consider themselves any of those terms and mad at somebody else that consider themselves something, any of those other terms, you're a dumbass. And that you're looking to be an agent of confusion. And we got to stop that. That's one thing we're going to stop. And look, everybody ain't got right and exact knowledge. And if you put something out, we have the right to look at what you did and then say, you know what, that's not right and exact. He or she said that wrong, did that wrong. Because your ass should have did your due diligence before you put it the fuck out.
That's a fact.
But you know what it is, Chief? Though, listen. You know what it is? See, a lot of people who out here teaching this shit, right? They didn't get the memo. See, you know, like I said, man, shout out to the Moors, man. And you niggas can hate my motherfucking guts for saying that. I don't give a fuck. Shout out to the motherfucking Moors, nigga. Shout out to Hakeem motherfucking Bey. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Taj Tariq Bey. Shout out to Dr. Yaffa Bey. Shout out to them because they helped me along with the American Indian Encyclopedia, along with my own personal research. They helped me get to this level right here. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because they gave me a crash course on American history before any of these Aborigines or Indians or Native Americans or Black Indians, etc., even came to the forefront. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, that helped me get along. And see, the thing is, a lot of these motherfuckers, they got resentment towards these people because you got people making bills and doing bills to discredit a lot of people. So therefore, because you discredit them, you don't even want to go and look at the information for what it is and say, you know what, I'm gonna take time to listen to Todd. I'm gonna take time to listen to Hakeem Bey. I'm gonna take time to listen to these brothers and sisters who put this information out there so I can get a greater understanding. You connect American history with the fact that it's your history, and whether you want to call yourself a Moor, Indian, Aborigine, a Tonton, Indigenous, all of these so-called terms are fucking related. You understand what I'm saying? With the exception to the primitive Indian shit that takes you out of a lot of this information. Indian is not a destination, it's an observation. It's just for you to observe that your family are a Tonton to this motherfucking land. And they don't have no historical, they don't have no time stamp on when your people came here. And you know, they don't know when your people came out of the motherfucking dirt, or when, you know what I'm saying, they don't have an understanding to that. You understand? And like I said, we attaching ourselves to the history that they're putting out there about Indians. Oh yeah, the Louisiana purchase. Ain't nobody fucking purchased no fucking Louisiana when you have fucking O.J. Dunn, the fucking lieutenant governor. So a white man put O.J. Dunn as the lieutenant governor of Louisiana in 1886
That don't even make
or
no sense.
1885. So in three years after fucking so-called slavery, the emancipation of so-called slaves, in 3 motherfucking years you was able to be a fucking lieutenant governor. What you say? Dip me in shit and bread and roll me in breadcrumbs? Like, are you serious? Like, when are you niggas gonna stop allowing a lot of these people to create the narrative and create a perspective in your fucking mind? Because you got answers. I mean, you got questions. And you're not getting the proper answers because a lot of people are getting the same answers from the same people who don't want you to know this. So even when you're doing research and you're finding articles, you can't take them articles face value because they being written by the same people who don't want you to know who the fuck you are.
Mm-hmm.
And do a whole build on it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, a lot of people, they know about this. Niggas like Cormeo, he know about Michelle Gibson and John Levi. He know about these structures, but he want to keep showing you these primitive fucking Native Americans and saying that these are your people. Nah, nigga, I didn't surpass that information, my dude.
Facts.
I didn't surpass that information.
We're not no rock slappers. We the gods.
That's right. We the motherfucking gods, nigga. And you take yourself and you apply that to yourself, and that's gonna give yourself a great. You're gonna have to have how do I want to say this? I'm losing my train of thought because I'm traveling. But you're gonna have a greater responsibility by saying you the gods and saying what your ancestors did, and you're gonna have to pass the baton.
Just think about it. The shit that was done and innovated from scratch 3,000, 2,000, 5,000 to 15,000 years ago is advanced then. It's advanced now. We was never a primitive people, even off the bat, even from scratch. We was never a primitive people. You see what I'm saying? A heightened sense. I mean, fuck it. What I'm saying is, you can take a nigga who was around in North Carolina or anywhere in America 5,000 years ago as a baby, hand them an iPhone, they'll be able to work that bitch just like you know how to work it. It ain't no difference in the technological understanding that they had and that we got. Simple. You know what I mean? It ain't none.
Style is billions of years of fucking memory in your DNA. And the only thing you have to do is awaken that DNA for you to understand this shit. And if you don't awaken the DNA, then you want to stay asleep. and you're gonna keep on having. And like I said, look, man, everybody got their part to play in this so-called history. I don't really take shots at nobody. I mean, well, then again, I just took a couple shots, but I don't, yeah, shots fired. But however it go, I take shots when I see that my people is being dumbed down by misinformation. You understand what I'm saying? By misinformation. Ain't no Europeans come here and they're not no founder fathers, nigga. We're the gods, nigga. The gods is the fucking founder fathers of the Amaru.
Facts.
You understand? We're the founding fathers. Our technology proceeds us and people using it without even out your knowledge of it. But we didn't tap people on the shoulder and say, yo, maybe you want to check this American Indian Encyclopedia out and attach yourself to that. And don't get it fucked up. Yeah, I use the term Indian, so don't nobody come in the chat room like, well, why do you use the term Indian? Because it's a fucking observation. It's an observation for you to observe and learn more.
Right.
Not for you to get stuck with that term.
You can't teach a kindergartner multiplications when they, you get steps and levels to this shit. Indian is a beginner stage, then you get to Aboriginal, then you get to Atanchans, then you just understand that we the gods. When you get to we the gods, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all ain't ready for this information yet. And
listen, to your credit, even for people who don't know that they're Indians or Tanchans or Aborigines, right? I guess the understudy to this would be the FBA. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not pro FBA, but guess what? Pro FBA at least unifies the so-called people who think they African Americans and give you some credit for what your people did. Once you get that understudy, now you're ready for advanced classes. You're ready for advanced classes.
You say they're the apprentices.
Exactly.
Hey, but with that being said, Tariqnasheed said that black is a misnomer. It's not really a word. They was talking about black, and he said we the Aborigines. That bro, news.
Pull out a color spectrum.
Break.
Pull out a fucking color spectrum and put your hand on the color spectrum and see, do you fit the description of black? Just from a common sense standpoint. Never mind, what's my man name? I forgot the brother name that was part of SNCC. The nigga that was part of SNCC that created that term. Oh, Black Power. Black Power, nigga. That ain't, we not black.
Well, when it turns out that he was working for the CIA and COINTELPRO, and these guys were funded. At this point right now, that niggas celebrate the niggas that's funded by COINTELPRO at this point. And niggas know it. They be like, hey, everybody know that motherfuckers is snitches and know that motherfuckers is working for these people, bro. And at this point, we just can't even be like, hey, we don't care if y'all snitching. We ain't doing nothing illegal.
Let's be real.
We're waking our people up.
A shitty term by black. But a lot of people in America can simply identify with black. And what he attached to black, because when people identify as black in America, so that they Indians and they using it, most of the people that's lost, right? That's our people, though. When they use the term black, they attach to that. And he attached another word that they not familiar with, that they heard. You know what I'm saying? In that same conversation, which is Aboriginal. Conversation, who are the Aboriginal people? Who are black Aboriginal?
And
Negroes are the Aboriginal people.
Yeah. Even when you use that term black, and AP, even when you use the term black, it's an observation. It's not a destination.
Absolutely.
Hey, but no, because they're not seeing black people. Once again, it's a social construct. It's a social construct.
Part of a caste system in the construct that they put on. It's not like the other terms of knowledges or classifications that we went through, like colored, Negro. You see what I'm saying? Indian, if you will. These are not like these. It's a little more different. You see what I'm saying? But they all land in the same boat. They all classification. Black.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
What we do is we'll grab one that best defines who we are. You see what I'm saying? And if science can back it up, then we're going to run with it. Because science says that the first people to walk on this planet is what? melanated people. And if we're saying that Aboriginal are the first people, that we don't even have to say that they melanated because science already said it for us. So these are the terms that we often like to use. You see what I'm saying? It's not that hard.
And look, AP, understand this: the ancestors of the people that reside in our in Europe, right? Let's say Europe, for example. And Europe, basically Mediterranean, you want to say North Africa, all of that shit, right? Their ancestors is the motherfucking Aborigines of America. And people don't have no understanding to that. No understand. And from over there in Rome, the Catholics or the people who created Catholicism, they turned against us. They pushed our brothers that was in Morocco, Spain, and Portugal. They started warring with them to push them out so they can open the gate, or so they can get travel access through the Pillars of Hercules in order to come back to the West and conquer over here, because they knew that the seat of Andalusia was in Central America. I want to say the Iberian Peninsula. Not the Iberian Peninsula. Let's say fucking what's the name? Central America, man. Okay, they knew that Montezuma was the king of the Andalusia Empire. You understand? So that's why they came over here and tried to war with us, but they lost. And like I tell you, I think Mongoloids was created in the Americas. I think the East Indians was created in America, along with the fucking European Slavics was created in America. You understand? And I know that that's kind of far-fetched, and I know that goes over people's head or whatever, but this is, I'm not saying it's a fact, but this is just one of my theories that's leading up to this shit. You understand? These people is not indigenous nowhere on this planet. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, from my teachings, the shit that I teach make me a target. It make me a target because, you know, I'm working next to white people, and white people Google, like if I put my face out there and put my name and shit out there, and they Google who I am and say, damn, you think white people was slaves? And man, do you know what kind of relationships I have with my business? You understand?
Nah,
So
that's a fact. So I understand the privacy. I understand being incognito. You know what I'm saying? So and I respect that, but at the same time, hey, we appreciate your information. That's why we take the information, we try to advance it, we try to go to another level. We take the torch and keep running with it. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to this Aboriginal information and from the Aboriginal community, man, we really appreciate all the information, time, and work and live streams and information that you've put in over the last half decade or so. You see what I'm saying? Facts.
No, I appreciate you and Chief Holiday, man, for definitely continuing the information, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Chief Holiday is a pillar in this so-called Black Indian Aboriginal community because he gave a lot of people a voice on his platform to come in there and give their opinion. And a lot of people don't give him no fucking credit. They don't give him no credit. You know what I'm saying? You know, such as like Kerry Davis and some. I'm not saying Kerry Davis himself, but Kerry Davis is actually a pillar too. His information.
No. Hey, let me give my kudos to Kerry Davis. Shout out to Kerry Davis. Shout out to Dane Calloway. Shout out to man, because hey, at the end of the day, man, we was all side by side with this information, leading the blueprint, and everybody went down their own separate ways. And I really appreciate the path that everybody created. You feel me, A1? Gotta give credit.
You know what the problem is, though, bro?
Thousand Go Ahead, Tyrone Street. You understand what I'm saying? Like a lot of them brothers, you know, you go check their channels, their earlier information out.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Medicine Man. Hey, shout out to Chief Colinago. Salute to the God.
Shout out to Chief Colinago, man.
Mount Rushmore. Let's just say that. Let's go ahead and say that. Yeah, I'm that guy. But
you know what I mean?
I say this, man. It ain't about what you did; it's what you're doing.
Even a brother like
He-Mock still, even people who are up in age are still able-bodied in this war, in this fight, because it's digital, it's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers can still pull arrows. Y'all follow me?
That's a fact.
I say this right.
So
real quick, I want to say this one thing. Right?
Babies, everybody fighting.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, brother, you got it.
Check it. No, I'm sorry. See, check this out.
So I ain't giving kudos to myself, you guys, nobody. We ain't did shit yet to change the conditions of our people in America. You understand what I'm saying? This fight is never gonna stop. Even
That's right.
We just got to make it better for our people along the way. DJ Cut.
I'm just a vessel. I'm just a
that's it, man. Ancestors are screaming through us. Screaming.
I don't think you can hear them, bro.
Wake up. Wake the fuck up. This shit is real. They still shooting unarmed Americans with impunity. That shit gotta stop. They still taxing Americans with impunity. That shit gotta stop.
That's crazy.
So when we talking, what are we gonna stop that? When are we gonna get these fake ass tethers and buffers and gatekeepers out the way? We honor them. We don't honor the real. It should be a Steve Coakley day around this bitch, not a Dr. Mark.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? You motherfuckers, that's it. That's why we have to grow our own roses. That's why we have to erect our own motherfucking statues and monuments around this bitch.
That's right.
And if somebody say you guys are gonna be oppressive, goddamn right.
That's right.
How you think you gonna fight monsters and not be monsters? That's dumb. What Callie say? Kill them, and then you kill them, then you bury them, and shoot in the dirt, kill them again. You niggas ain't got it, man. Y'all ain't with that. It's only for a few of us. And a lot of this shit don't even need to be on YouTube, bro.
I'm here to push peace, love, and light. We're here to educate the people with understanding.
I'm on my Viking shit right now.
Equip them.
Letting y'all know. It's conquer, take everything over. We want it all. We just getting started. We want it all. That's right. Real talk. We want it all.
Don't you say a motherfucking thing.
Oh God.
Hey, look. Hey, listen, right?
DJ Cut the best to do it, man.
Hey, Chief, you can hear me, right? What I was going to say
yes,
about,
sir.
He-Mock. I know hey, one said He-Mock name. Fuck y'all niggas,
Talk up a little louder, A1. It sound like you a little low. It sound like you got a little.
Oh, all right. You can hear me now?
Yeah,
hey, look, I got this one video when this nigga He-Mock was in motherfucking United Nations, and he was telling them motherfuckers that the Aborigines of the Americas still getting shot down in the street, referring to Black America. Now, listen, with exception to some of the allegations and to some of the stuff that may be connected to him, I ain't got nothing to do with that. But I do got something to do with what he said when he said he went to the United Nations and the Aborigines of America is getting shot down. And all the Native Americans behind him was looking at him, putting their head down.
I think that was the problem. I think that's the problem. Man, I don't care about me personally, I don't care about going and talking and telling the United Nations shit. What that's gonna get us? These motherfuckers went to Kamala Harris' office for a barbecue and got $32 billion.
Oh, no.
Come on, bro.
Don't take away from what I'm saying, brother. I'm not saying go to the United Nations. And I'm telling you that the motherfucking Native Americans, they didn't want him to say that shit.
Right.
So whether or not he went to the Native Americans, he went to the United Nations, nigga, who best to bring the fight to? Who best to at least address these motherfuckers and let them niggas know, nigga, we know who the fuck we are. How about that? We know who the fuck we are, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm addressing that. I ain't saying like, oh, that's a place that we need to go and we need.
I don't recognize their jurisdiction over us. I don't recognize. I don't recognize
none of these.
That's right.
I'm the nigga that's gonna walk through the back while they having thing the meeting, smoking the blunt. Like, move around. I don't care about what they got going on, bro. They're invading they're misusing the American people, our tax dollars and everything else that's going on. I think we're gonna have to have and you guys are seeing it. And what's crazy is the pale skin move a little different than us. See what I'm saying? We had Jesse Stevenson come on last night, right? It's the first time I ever heard him. Bro, his nigga was madder than us. You understand what I'm saying? And I had addressed him saying the word nigga, because he had typed it in the chat room pertaining to Taz the other day, right? I just wanted to address him, like, do you say this word? And he said, no, I think it's a foul word, and and this whatever. But he said he was mad because Taz had called him a Slav. Shout out to Taz.
That's crazy.
So Jesse called him a nigger.
Jesse said he get mad. He said he called y'all some niggers. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? My thing is, though, man, stand on what you say, no matter if it's in the chat room or you whatever. Be a man or a woman enough to stand on your words. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of us that's scared to say honky or cracker in the public in front of anybody. And not because they're scared of your life or nothing, but it's just socially unacceptable at this point. Hate is socially unacceptable right now.
This nigga, I heard,
you know what I'm saying?
Nigga in the chat.
Huh?
I said that nigga said nigga in the chat.
Oh yeah, your chat. He said that nigga was a punk ass nigga. So I addressed him last night. He came on, ran him off, but came on. I gotta give him that. I respect him for coming on.
That's right.
He said he had gotten an argument with a guy, fighters of it. So he said he uses the word when he gets mad at people of color.
The ER in it wasn't with the A at the end. How you say it?
Oh, he had the A in the text, in the text. But I'm saying when he gets mad, you know what I'm saying, at people of color in Colorado, that's where he lives, in Colorado, and his people not originally from there. He's not originally from America, by the way. So I just wanted to point this out. Once he was trying to say he was a white man, we took that away from him. Hey, sir, that's hate. You want to call yourself white, but then you want to call us niggers. Y'all see how this work?
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
When a nigga get to going in, niggas get to feeling some kind of way.
It's the GOAT. Hey, man, we just getting started, y'all. We just getting started, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We just getting started. Stay tuned. Peace to the guys, man. Shout out to all American Aborigines, man. It's all bad, y'all. Hey, the information, y'all. Hey, don't think that we stagnant in information either, man. Don't do that. Don't think that. We're gonna keep dropping numbers.
Huh? What y'all talking about?
I stay in the rabbit hole. I'm reporting live to you right now in the rabbit hole right now.
Nigga, I done gave y'all motherfucking 30 days. I done gave y'all 30 live streams in 28 days.
Man.
What talk about?
Shit's unprecedented, bro. Shit's crazy.
And we still got more.
Shit's crazy.
We got more. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
That's right.
But at the same time, though, we're here to connect with the youth, man. We got to start tapping into these other platforms that the youth eyes is glued to, and they watch every word, they watch every live stream. We got to start tapping into that.
Mm-hmm.
It's up for us to get to that. It's big for the word Aboriginal to be on a large platform and the conversation they're in. What's owed to the motherfuckers who built America? They didn't come to America. It was no America here. You know what I'm saying? Until we built it.
Truth hour, goddammit. The truth hour.
That's right.
So yeah, man, it's a lot in store, man. So shout out to all the American Aboriginals.
Yeah, man, y'all know who y'all are, man.
We got Untouchables one on the motherfucking panel. Shout out to A1.
The guy. Ahanu. Kiel. Yeah, the guy. Hey, man, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I really don't. But yeah, man, it's all about, man, motivating and inspiring, man. Really. You know what I mean? Can't wait to see Drip Check, you know what I'm saying, these bigger platforms and stuff and dropping that heat. You know what I mean? Just think about it, man.
Yeah,
what the
Can't wait to get to some of these.
What they say, knock the brains, truth, and knock the brains out the devil's head. You know what I'm saying? Think about it.
That's right.
We not the slaves. Adam 22, Vlad TV are descendants of slaves.
When a nigga get to going in, niggas get to feeling some kind of way.
Drip check.
Jesse Stevenson is a descendant of slaves.
Hey, drip.
I'm just saying, we gotta tell the truth.
Drip check.
What they say? Don't kill the Messiah. Don't kill the messenger, man. Shout out to all the messiahs out there, man.
All that shit you talking about, Chief. Fuck all that shit, man.
Uh-huh.
Fuck all
I'm
that.
like, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Nigga, we trying to go to motherfucking no jumper, nigga, and like that.
That's
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's in the bag.
That's right.
Shout out to the American Aborigines, man. How y'all feeling out there today? We get some people to support the channel. We get some people.
Hey, y'all know y'all gonna be supporting too, though. That's what's up, though, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, they love numbers and all these things. You know what I mean? Well, and once again, we cannot allow them to say, you know, these platforms to say, man, you guys don't have, you know, because a lot of times that's what Sinetta them used to try to say. Y'all remember?
Right.
I remember Polite, he had been running for years, y'all. The debate, right? For years. Polite been running for me for years, right? And his excuse was,
listen to this.
Yeah, you gotta get your numbers up and shit, right? Huh?
Listen to this. Our platforms does the numbers, though. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, I'm saying this is before it was any platforms and stuff. Polite didn't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? And then he'd turn around and then debate a pastor from a church or something with 100 subscribers or some shit. Y'all follow me? Like they did everything they could do to avoid this information getting out.
And that's a damn shame.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They didn't want it to happen. Why? Why not empower our people, man? Why not empower the American people, man, with the truth? Why keep continuing pushing out of Africa hypotheses, eugenics, pain, all that's attached to Planned Parenthood?
Right.
And shout out to Poetic Flacco once again. He understood the difference between Roe versus Wade and Planned Parenthood. Y'all follow this?
From the conversation at hand and the way it went down with Tariqnasheed, I got a lot of tether, which he is a tether, obviously. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, listen, the tether, bro, I don't like the way he's structuring these questions, but like as an interviewer, you gotta come in and angle them and hit them with the hard questions that people proceed to want to hit them with. You feel what I'm saying? And listening to the conversation that you and him had give me a different perspective on the tether, bro. So shout out to Poetic Flacco, man, for having that conversation.
That's right.
And getting real holiday, man. It was dope.
Hey, man, no, it was classic, bro. It was definitely that.
Okay.
And then having the Alabama epic Tayshawn, you know what I'm saying? Coming in their energy, coming in, their questions, and
you gotta
Alabama was just the vibe, man.
Platform like no jumper, you ain't just getting your numbers, you getting all the whole community's numbers. You see what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You know,
and you know, let the chips fall where they may. Yeah. Hey, but look though, you know, I'm never like it's about me. You know that.
Family don't even know what the fuck going on. They don't even know what's going on. And so we have to tell the truth. We have to wake our family up to these weak Negroes.
That's right, Sonny. Hey, the gang gonna be in there. You hear me? Gang gonna be in there. We're gonna be in that bitch like O Block. Money gonna be packed, stacked on top.
Big backwoods.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
The latest show they ever had, man. Y'all crazy. And the most informative. Fuck y'all mean. And this real life though. It ain't no see, that's the difference. That's the difference. Too many YouTube niggas out here.
Too many punk ass, bitch ass niggas, man.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas could be anybody on YouTube if they buy some views and some subscribers. And you know what I'm saying? Can't wait to meet everybody, man. Real talk. Can't wait to meet y'all.
Yeah, selling information.
Can't wait to meet y'all, man.
Hey, go ahead, A1. You got the flow bit, bro. I know your mic a little.
Nah, I'm out here, doing what I do. But I'm just saying, just as far as like, a lot of people come into this information and thinking because they read an article or they read some material that you know what I'm saying, and that's what it is. Instead of you gotta, like I said, it takes more to just reading. You gotta cross-reference. You gotta analyze. You gotta decode. You gotta decipher the information. Right. You have to be able to listen to individuals who you may not listen to, and that's why people don't get from start to finish with it. They start and then they get caught up. They get caught up with that concept that everything that they read and the fact that a lot of these people that wrote this history, you think they had our best interest at hand, my dude? Where are we getting this information from? And even the so-called black scholars, where did they get their information from? Because if none of them motherfuckers, all of these black scholars out here, none of them told us that we was indigenous to America. None of them told us that. So that goes to show you that they was even misled. None of them told us we was indigenous to America. We had to revamp this shit in the 2000s, or in some people in the 90s, some people in the 80s. But they was out there at these powwows with these so-called mosquitoes and these mongoloids and thinking that you're a guest. Nah, nigga, these niggas are guests because they in your house. They in your motherfucking house, nigga. And you don't even understand that you're the owner. You're the owner. You're the property owner of this house. And these niggas is telling you their history and then telling you that you're not part of their history. And if you is part of their history, it's because of either some slaves mixed with a Native American. Shit is all fact. This is all created, man. You know what I'm saying? This is all created. Your people was owning the motherfucking sloughs. And your people told these mongoloids, nigga, I don't want to see you come across that motherfucking Mississippi River, nigga. Stay in them teepees. Stay living where you living at. If we see you come across this this Mississippi River, it's gonna be your ass. You understand? So
I think though, A1, a lot of times, I think what happens though, brother, people conflate time periods. We're putting slavery, for instance, in a time period when it wasn't supposed to be slavery. Hence 400 years of slavery, right? Remember, that didn't end until 2019. They even had a commemoration on the shit. But it wasn't commemoration on slavery. It was commemoration on 1619 when that whole story. They had a whole, remember Trump? They had a whole congressional thing. We turned up about that. Like, what y'all mean 400 years of slavery? Make this make sense. So you niggas is like 3 years out of slavery right now. Make this make sense if slavery is supposed to end it in 1863 or whatever, right? Bro, the psychosis of people, not just our people. It's staggering. It's incredible. It's incredible now that the teachers can teach the bullshit that they teach at schools with all the information that the child has in their hand, with the parents to say, look, when they send this bullshit home, you can't say, hey, well, it's okay. Well, we can mark this the way they want us to mark this, to pass the test. Well, the test needs to change. Do y'all understand? That is illegal. It's called paper genocide. That, according to the Geneva Convention, according to the American Constitution, according to the UNDRIP, an American Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People, which would be us, by the way, by law, not by DNA test, not by your talking, going back and forth. No, by the law of this land, it needs to be enforced. Now, what's good about that they're enforcing the laws in the Constitution, right? Is that these laws will be enforced, you guys. But a lot of people don't want to go back to these time periods. And why do you think they don't want to? Because those are the people that are working against our people, brother. The Black Caucus, the dead caucus. You understand what I'm saying? We got to stop being dead people, man. Wake up. This shit real, man. Like, I know, bro, this shit real. And shout out to everybody, man, to do the work, man. I definitely respect it, man.
That's right.
Real talk. Real talk. But yeah, man. Yeah, we definitely have to got a couple ideas, man. You know, everybody got a lot of energy and a lot of mouth, you know, and there's a lot of little nuances that should be talked about. And once they're talked about, I don't like seeing debates and then it's not a clear winner. And then like see even the information, like after the person loses the debate, they still go back and still be teaching the dumb shit that they're teaching. Like it wasn't debunked in the debate. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
The people support dumb shit, bro.
And they gonna continue to support dumb shit.
Because a motherfucker told you that some shit water tastes good and a good joke, so you drunk it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro. Real talk. What about the building? So yeah, anybody talking all that, man? We with that.
I'm definitely
you ain't
proud.
With the builders, you ain't building. What'd you say, brother?
I'm definitely proud because I see a lot of people that took it a step further with a lot of information and went on and added to it. You created your own channel or whatever, and you continue to struggle. Continue to fight and let people know who they are. And I definitely commend a lot of people for doing that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but that's just the beginning process, man. You know what I'm saying? Until this shit is being said, and people are saying, if you see people questioning and fighting against you, African American, black, nigga, and calling me black is like calling me a nigger. You know
right. Hey, and listen, man, while I got you on the panel, man, I do want to give the people at least a little bit of what they came here for. If everybody want to mute up, we gonna commentate and give a reaction to some of the video and some of the visuals that we about to see on the screen. So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I need everybody to thumb up the video, man.
I like that piano back there.
Oh yeah, man, just got that bitch, you know what I'm saying? Just got that bitch, you heard?
Hey, I like that 2 a.m. hat too, man. We are 2am.com, man. Official
right.
Aboriginal drip, man. Get y'all drip check, man. Get y'all cheap Billy, man. BAP on the way, man. Drip check.
You know what I'm saying? We in they motherfucking chats.
All right, y'all ready? Let's get it, man.
And that's confusing. You'll have to watch our other videos to get a full breakdown on that transition. But you really don't even need to know that. Just look. It's called Leo Belgicus, Latin for the Belgic lion, which was used in both heraldry and map design to symbolize the former lower countries with the shape of a lion. Look at this. You can even see the fleur-de-lis. I thought this was a French symbol. What about the double-headed phoenix? Why is this on a Dutch map? It's also accompanied by the Dutch maiden, the national personification of the Dutch Republic. My research focuses on a lot of alternative history, and usually that involves diving into old maps and coat of arms. Once you've looked at these enough, you begin to notice a theme. They're using these symbols as a way to communicate. To break this down, the lion is the symbol of Venice, but this power is manifesting in one of her corporations, the Dutch Empire, which also manifests in the Dutch East India Company. You will see these symbols everywhere. This is crucial to take note of. The maiden symbol is even more telling. She's typically depicted wearing a Roman or Venetian garment and with a lion by her side. This is telling you that the Dutch were doing the dirty work for the Vatican, but it wasn't just the Dutch, it was all of Europe and spreading quickly both west and east. Just look at this heraldry. Are we supposed to believe that these were all just independent nations? And after all, the Vatican did rule all of Europe for 1500 years. Why can't we ask if it ever ended? But there is one that I want you to look at that you must not forget, as it is essential to understanding my point for later in the video. Look at this coat of arms. Notice, 2 griffins holding up a knight's helmet. You will see this in many coat of arms. But why is this in the Book of Hours from the early 1500s? This is what is referred to as the headless knight. It's a royal symbol, and it refers to the hidden rulers, which are the ancient Phoenician families, with their power center being Venice and Rome. A common theme, as you will see later in this video, is that when the wealthy move to another city, they bring all their buddies and they essentially get another corporation started. In fact, there are several similarities between Venice and Amsterdam. These were the urban elites of Europe, and anyone with a study of world history knows this to be true. Amsterdam is literally called the Venice of the North. Both the Netherlands and Italy were both having a Renaissance period during this time in the early 16th century. There's also this interesting read comparing the culture between Venice and Amsterdam. I'll leave the reference in the description, but essentially, the elite of Venice were moving operations to places like Leiden University, where, if we look at the coat of arms, you can see who owns it. Now, I could continue to show you the similarities and connections, but I honestly think it's its own video, and the coat of arms of all these nations should be the proof you need, but if you want more, let's move on to the Dutch East India Company. This is another very important history we must understand if we're going to see the connection later on. After this Dutch Golden Age, which was because they merged with what was happening in Italy, eventually, the official United East India Company was started in 1602. We are told as a simple charter company for spices, but what this was simply was the first ever international global supply chain that created the biggest company that ever existed in recorded history. This again is its own video, but essentially, this is the first global company, the start of global capitalism, and you don't think the wealthy elite at the time had their hands in this? Supposedly, this company are the same people who moved around all the slaves from Africa to America. They tell us millions. Imagine how much money we're talking about here. They weren't merchants. This was literally a military power, government, and it was even an agricultural producer. You could call it an entire entity of its own, obviously with it being a corporation. But there's a dark history behind this company, and it involves population resets, taking control of industry behind the scenes, and moving people into newly renovated old world cities. To give you a perspective on how rich this company really was, which again was its own entity and country, they were worth more than Apple, Google, and Facebook combined, 7.8 trillion being the first supposed global capitalism. Right, they dominated the free market. Still, this number means nothing because you have to understand how much money was in circulation back then. It doesn't mean the same now, so they were even richer than that. You don't think there's something else going on with that story? Let me give you a hint. Whenever you want to know what's going on with who is in control behind the scenes, just type in coat of arms. Why is there a headless knight, a lion as a mermaid Phoenician symbolism, a fleur-de-lis, and an upside down pentagram? Why is that their coat of arms? You have to understand that symbols are everything to these elite. That will be one of our biggest tools in this journey. The first Van de Bilt. Okay, so now let's try to trace down the first Vanderbilt. Now what we need to know is that before New York was New York, it was New Netherlands. For some reason, they don't really teach about this in school or really any of the biographies. But the New Netherlands were a colony of the Dutch West India Company. It wasn't just New York. It was essentially the entire east coast of the United States. That's important to note for later. It was conceived by the Dutch West India Company. The confusing part is that they separated Dutch West and East into two separate companies for some reason, but they are the same entity. Remember, I told you that they were like a country. So at this time, they say the early 1600s, they began their own.
What I'm getting out of this is we obviously see the Dutch East Company and the West East Company starting their colonization to take over with all the structures that was already here, take over the nationhood, the government, the system, the tax system that was already in place by the Aboriginal people here. This is some structures depicted of the 1600s in New York. This is probably the fucking canal. What's that canal? The Van Harbor fucking canal, some shit like that. Yeah, man, some crazy shit, man. Let's continue. Hey, I ain't gonna give y'all all this. It's a snibbling, man. I know this what y'all came for. Hey, we're gonna probably do a part 2, maybe even a part 3 to this.
Country in America called New Netherlands. What we do know is that early Vanderbilts were a part of aristocratic New York clubs such as the Holland Society. Here's what the Holland Society of New York has to say. Quote, in 1609, Englishman Henry Hudson sailed for the third time to the Western Hemisphere looking for a shortcut to Asia under the employ of the Dutch East India Company. He sailed into what is now New York Harbor on his famous boat, De Have, Maine, in search of profitable ventures in the New World and to restrain the influences of rival nations. Associations of Dutch merchants and traders followed Hudson to America. The former colonization began about 1623. The area was called New Netherland and remained under Dutch rule for 40 years, even though the Dutch relinquished their rule to the English in 1664 and again in 1675. A half-century of their heritage lived among its settlers. Their custom and traditions contributed to the new American culture and continues to be observed today. End quote. So there you go. This company, which was the biggest company at its time, would hire new explorers to search for, quote, profitable ventures. I wonder what that means. Maybe it involves stealing other lands? Are we to question whether there were already inhabitants in these areas during these times? The first Vanderbilt that history will give us is Jan Artson van der Bilt, a property owner in Long Island. It seems that his name is somewhat of a spelling error, as in many records they would shorten words, and so experts seem to agree that their family origin is the little town of Bilt in Holland. But there's more. I found Hetbilt or Hedbilt, which is an older municipality or district of the Netherlands. Bilt is also a conservative Hollandic dialect which is spoken here. If you search De Bilt, there's some info. The Bilt houses are the headquarters to the Royal Netherlands Meteorological Institute. Quote, it is the ancestral home and namesake for the prominent Vanderbilt family of the United States. End quote. So, we know they're Dutch and they come from Holland. We're also going to cover many techniques or tricks, you could say, that the biographers play when it comes to recounting the histories of these robber baron celebrities. One recurring theme seen with the Vanderbilts is to constantly find a way to explain their mass fortune of wealth, with many few truly dissecting the story in a critical way that questions their origins. They say they always from the beginning had big families, which is understandable, but they use this as a way to explain their wealth as if each family member was constantly contributing to each other's businesses. As I was doing research for this, at some point there was a switch to English rule, but supposedly it affected them very little. In order to go any further, we have to learn more about New Netherland, which, let me ask you, did you really know about that? And if you did...
So now he about to go to New Netherland. New Netherland is New York, y'all. He's taking the shit to New York, y'all. Let's see what the fuck was going on in New York in the 1600s, man. Drop them fire emojis if y'all can hear and see everything loud and clear on the screen. Drop them fire emojis if y'all can see everything loud and clear on the screen. I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, thumb up the video, man. Let's go.
Did be honest, how many people do you think know about this? Not too many, but this was New York, New Jersey, Delaware, and Connecticut, with small outposts in Pennsylvania and Rhode Island. But as we'll soon see, this was far larger. They are underplaying the importance of this colony in history, and you don't think it has anything to do with the Dutch West East India Company? They had $7.8 trillion. Let's remember that. They were there for 50 years, they tell us, possibly even more, 200 years. What do you think they could do in that time?
They said they had how many $1 trillion in the 16? These bitches were uber rich. What? Look at these structures though. Upstate New York. Look at that building up there, man. They already here in the 1600s. What they depicting? This is a depiction, a rendition painting. Buildings already here in the 1600s. The gig is up, man.
Well, history tells us that when they first arrived, that progress was slow because there were issues with the natives. I wonder what that means. They say the population consisted of European colonists, Native Americans, and Africans who were imported. Another colony you probably didn't know about is New Sweden. The same founder of the Dutch West India Company started the Swedish South Company. So as you can see, this was a large project with multiple different countries, corporations involved. Also, New France, New England, and there was Nova Belgica. They try to tell you that it was just a colony from Canada to Virginia. It was not. What do you think would be stopping the largest company in the world? You also have to consider how much land the English had in 1750, as this was essentially still New Netherlands. There was a seamless switch in power. I'm saying that they're one and the same, so yes, it was the entire East Coast. Actually, it was more. So essentially, the early beginnings that we're told about Virginia and Jamestown are highly distorted. This has been in operation for a while, and there are still things that do not add up when you question further. We also have to mention how the same thing was happening with New France and New Spain.
Look, this is New York, 1600s. Look at these buildings already in the background, all right here, all in this skyline. Look at this. Towers, 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 towers. Already built in the 1600s. Unbelievable. 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 Let's continue.
Man.
They all had their own territories or colonies that they were finding. Notice how it's called founded when a colony is started. That is because what we're seeing here is a multi-level operation coordinated by a single hand. The proof is within the coat of arms. What proof do you have that these people were truly fighting at a war with each other? The historical accounts from authorities themselves? Also, notice for some reason that there are these quotes, unclaimed lands. Why would they just stop exploring in such specific areas? They were all in cahoots. They just have to make it seem like all these different corporations were trying to fight for power. Remember, that's the illusion of big business. This was the biggest business at that time. This was Venice, the lion, the fleur-de-lis, which really is just a decorative sword. They all share the same ruler. Now, skeptics say, what proof do you have of this? You must begin your research and ask the same questions. Resources will be provided, but do you really think the people that tell us our history are just going to hold our hands and explain every single detail? No. They'll tell you what they want you to hear and inform their brothers within their heraldry. This was multiple projects, and they could have been competing against each other as different ventures. Like when a crazy tycoon starts multiple business projects under different names. You see this in movies all the time. That is what these different countries were. Spain, Britain, France, Netherlands. But who owned them? So essentially, the true origin cannot be trusted when it comes to these biographies. We'll be presenting an alternative soon, but first we must continue so that you can see how this all connects in just a moment. The story picks up with Jacob Vanderbilt, who is the supposed grandson of Jan Artson. And when he got married, his grandpa just gave him 100 acres of land, I guess. This was early Staten Island when it was known as New Dorp. They constantly like to mention that.
Damn, Staten Island was already built too. Look at this. New Dorp, aka Staten Island. Early 1700s. Magnificent.
This was just a bunch of farmers at this time, just doing what they could. Married, his grandpa just gave him 100 acres of land, I guess. This was early Staten Island when it was known as New Dorp. They constantly like to mention that this was just a bunch of farmers at this time, just doing what they could. Yeah, for who? Who were they selling to? I wonder, were they workers of the...
They was workers of either the Dutch that had locked in with the Aborigines, which is what A1 was saying, got in cahoots, and that's how the switchover started to take place. It's simple. Drop them fire emojis if y'all enjoy.
Hey, you done with the video, brother?
No, I'm not done. I'm almost done. I got you, big bro. I know you ready.
Nah, it's a fire video, man. It's a fire video.
It is. It's a lot too. So I probably have to do a part 3, part 4 to this. It's dope.
Y'all want
Dutch
to forget
East India Company? I would think so, since the entire country was founded by them, so they were the kings, the founders of the company. They own all the farmland. One thing that I found very interesting when looking up the Vanderbilts was this connection to the Moravian Brethren, a German evangelical sect which came from the Bohemian Protestant martyr John Huss of the early 15th century. Bohemia is another Roman-created corporation. Again, why do all these countries have the same coat of arms? How are we not to conclude that they were all under one rule? Why is this lion everywhere? The double-headed phoenix? The headless knight? I know these symbols. These are all the same people. There's so much that is confusing about this history, such as duplicate names of people, weird religious names as if it's symbolism, and just very strange things in general. The first thing is that they're basically saying that they were just having babies like crazy, and that they were very specific about marriage. They would only marry the higher class people of the town, such as legislators, and in some cases, they intermarried with first.
And mind you, at this time, this is the time of the anti-federal government. This is the Intercontinental Congress. John Hanson is the president around this time. A lot of black politicians. So they ultimately saying that the East Dutch Company started settling, and to keep their bloodline strong, they started mating with who? Black people. This is how you get this mulatto and all these other people to start to take shade that could blend in different societies. This became danger to certain people, a threat to certain people. Let's get it.
First cousins. So this was a very tight-knit group. Another weird thing is that they would just randomly pick up the story when telling us this genealogy. And so now we're at Jacob Vanderbilt II, and he married a Mary. Then they have children, the seventh being Cornelius, but this is not the Commodore yet. This is the father who supposedly had a ferry service, so he was into boats as well, and he would just transport a few passengers here and there, but again, they're setting up the narrative. This Cornelius then married Phoebe, which I think there's something to that name that is weird, but she was higher class than Cornelius because her grandfather was a clergyman and her uncle was a general. Phoebe is the mother of the Commodore. They say that the family lost their money after getting married because they lost money investing in continental bonds or something, but they end up having 9 children, and this is when we get to the real beginning. The Commodore. Cornelius Vanderbilt was born from Cornelius and Phoebe, and he was the 4th born child. It is said he was born on a port in Kil van Kull, a Dutch named strait in the area. So this is where we get to the story. The story's all set up now. The father Cornelius basically failed after the revolution, which I think that may be a symbol, but they tell us that the first Cornelius was basically a failure in farming and ferrying. They call the second Cornelius Cornell, who became the eldest son when his brother Jacob died. Another Jacob, of course. One thing that is really strange is that they make emphasis on how Cornell, or Cornelius Vanderbilt, was illiterate and he was okay with it. He was hostile towards any type of learning environment, is what they say. Now, of course, they are saved by the historians because what they say is that this is one of the strategies, of course, were tricking other business competitors. Yeah, right. Why was he thinking like this from the beginning of his life? He was a very rude person. Throughout his life, he's described as being harsh, rash, and completely irrational. And as we'll soon see, this seems to be accurate. So the story goes, and I'm sure some of you have heard this, but you're gonna have to try and look at this with new eyes now that we know what we know. His mother gives him $100 and he goes to get a piragua, basically a little boat, because I don't think he's doing anything bigger than that by himself. And if you type piragua, this is what it looks like, which was considered to be a clumsy sailboat. So at 16, he just takes off giving people little rides in this thing. And let's remember that $100 is like $2,500, maybe even more. So his mom just bought him a car at 16 and he was illiterate. Is that right? All he had to do was promise that he would clear some acres of farmland or something. Sounds like they just wanted to give him property as well. They paint him as such a skillful and strong man. He could do the piragua all by himself, and he just went and made a humble living doing the job. Weirdly, Cornelius did special services for the War of 1812, so that means he was transporting troops in this little thing? Was he connected to the state? Well, let's see. So they also mention that Cornelius swore all the time, so they portray him as this really just down from the streets kind of guy that didn't really care about what anyone thought of him. He was just going to beat up anyone who got in his way, and he would literally get into many fistfights in an early age. At 19, he marries Sophia Johnson in 1813. Really, they were born in the exact same location, and she had a huge family because, she was his cousin. It is said that Sophia is to have had a deep connection with Phoebe. I find that all very strange, but...
That nigga slid his cousin part in real smooth, like Sophia Johnson. Boy, this narrative is getting iffy, baby. Chief, you want to say something real quick? I'm going to probably end the video right here. We'll get into the rest of this tomorrow. Man, we will get into the rest of this tomorrow, man. Stay tuned, man. It's going to be a dope live stream. Y'all going to want to stay tuned in for this tomorrow. I promise you.
That dope video, man. I say this, man. Like a lot of times, man, it's about narrative, right? But this is how I'm gonna prove my point. That what I say, how even when people are, we have to check. We have to fact check. The fact checkers are people who are bringing information, right? So check this out. So the language that we're speaking in the form it is in right now did not exist, correct? Okay, so in the 1600s, right? So in 1609, there was no such thing called the East India Company, right? So that should be a red flag instantaneously in somebody's head, right? And anything that they're producing from that narrative, right, has to be a recreation. If the language is, if you have a language, they recreated the language, okay? So they're also going to recreate the pictures as well as the narrative. Now, trillions of dollars, right? So they say, right? Now, in the 1600s, let's just say Europe didn't have a wood shortage. Let's just say they had millions and millions and millions of people, and they had these metropolises and all this other stuff, right? Let's just say they had all that, but it wasn't bigger than ours. They didn't have more people than us. They didn't have more food than us. They didn't have more structures than us. I'm just talking about in the 1600s. We're not even talking before that. Let's just, where they at right here. This story that they're telling, this story, keep in mind, story. Now they'll say, hey, that's New York or New Amsterdam. But once again, they're writing terminologies back into a time period. And also they're telling us that they founded something that was already there. Now, what you're pointing out is there's no way for them to have had all this shit built in the 1600s. And if it was built, who built it? Because they didn't build it there in the Netherlands. If you ever been to the Netherlands, it's not that big. You ever been to Germany, it's not that big. You ever been to England, it's not that big. They don't have a lot of resources. okay, to come up with the trillions of dollars of farmland and all this other stuff. So all the, like, once again, it's the narrative. And even the guy that's questioning their narrative, he'll say, well, this doesn't make sense. But none of it makes sense, brother. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're reading shit, bro, you have to know. It's like Ab said, you have to know who's writing it, who wrote it, where did it come from. You have to examine everything. Is this an authentic original? And why? How can they validate their narrative of this actual picture or story? Because they're saying that this is new, but we're ancient. We had more. We built the boats. See, they're saying it in reverse. So think about it from this perspective, right? Let's go with the East India Company, right? So we're like, well, they're going to East India, right? Well, India wasn't called India in the 1600s. What was called India in their translations? Right? Y'all understand what I'm saying? When was it translated? Right? Not in the 1600s. It was translated later. So when they translated stuff, what were they talking about? So it would be the East India. The East Indies, right, would be America. West Indies, East End. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And these companies would be in America. It wouldn't make sense for it to be from there to here. You understand what I'm saying? They're just changing it up. They changing the narratives when they changed up when they translated it. This is how they beat this, y'all. I swear to God.
They're not talking about
America's the greatest. What you say, brother?
They're not talking about when they saying East India. They're talking about the Americas as the
absolutely, absolutely. And I talk about India because it wasn't called India at that time.
At that time, right? As a facts.
Not even in the 1800s. Shit was called India into the 1900s. So my point is, right, we have to stop allowing them to say, well, it's Sweden. It wasn't Sweden in the 1600s.
It wasn't never.
See what I'm saying? There you go. There you go. So how would this be New Amsterdam and all this other shit? But once again, it's their narrative that they're painting to put European supremacy on America, right? Right? You understand?
They only call it.
That's what they're doing, bro. We America. America's always been the greatest, and we put them on. They didn't put us on. Yeah, y'all see the correlation. What we're saying, and this, for us. Why should we still be paying taxes to the crown here in America? It's happening.
Yeah, what you think your income tax is?
It's happening. See, it's all based off of these fake ass narratives. These are fake narratives. They don't have no documentation to prove this. And matter of fact, when you get to the documentation, you'd be like, well, how many people came up from over there? It'd be like, it was 300 of them and 300 people, and there's thousands of us that built this. So this is before Reconstruction, 1600s, 1700s, right? Built America. Who built it? And they'll say African slaves that they brought here, right? See, that's the misnomer. So it wasn't no goddamn Africans, right? And it wasn't no fucking Native Americans at that time.
Right.
That built the shit. That had the skill set to build shit in America. Come on, bro. And see, once again, they tell the narrative, oh, it was black people. Yeah, they came from Africa. And they look like the Native Americans. Well, no such thing as Native Americans in 1609. I'm sorry. My bad. 1975. Stop playing. And ask the Native American what city they built in America. Where is their cities? So please stop playing with us. Please. And once again, I get it. Y'all love kissing pale asses. Y'all love a pale nigga to tell y'all something. Your ancestors are telling you something right now. The gods are telling you something. Ain't no niggas breathing, bro. This, I swear to God. And they're not gonna hit that link. They're not gonna say, hey man, we want to set up a debate with any of these gentlemen on this platform.
Nah,
nowhere on this planet. Nobody.
Man,
hey, I dare you.
I ain't gonna lie, man. This is a dope ass live.
Fuck you mean?
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody tuning in, man. It's your brother Chief Holiday, Al Power, man. Y'all know this was another
GOAT.
Fire ass live stream, man. Shout out to all my American Aborigines in the chat. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen, ticking across, man. It's ticking across, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. With that being said, peace and love to all American Aborigines. Make sure y'all be safe. Make sure you stay aware. Make sure you stay vigilant. Make sure you stay dangerous, man. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, man. We out. Peace.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me hear. I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all in my blood, all in my veins. They started with perky, now that hair right up his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them.